Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Tuniverse and happy Halloween if you're into that sort of thing. I hope you guys are all doing well today. And yeah, I don't know what you're going to Halloween as, but I'm gonna be a wannabe YouTuber. Anyways, wow, I need to shave again. Damn. Um, Welcome to Hot Take Tuna Tuesday, where we react over some videos, we discuss them, we have some fun, we laugh, we have a good time. No, my wife would just be like, "You're not a wannabe YouTuber. You're just a dork." Love my wife, but she gives me such a hard time. Usually in a funny and witty way. Usually, sometimes it's just like, "Oh, damn, that hurts. That hurts." But no, she calls like last night. I was escorting Pagan around the verse while he was delivering goods with cargo, with cargo ships and stuff. And him and another guy were testing out if you could do certain things with the Hull C, like, for example, Pagan would pull one out, they would both go to it, call for takeoff, and then the other guy would fly it. And they were trying a variety of different things to see what two people could get away with by calling different ships. And it worked all right for the most part. When it came to, so Pagan has two Hull Cs. He's got a loaner for the Hull E or D, I think it is, and then he's got a loaner, and then he's got an actual Hull C. So they were doing all sorts of weird things with it. The only problem they seemed to really have was when they were docking to sell off, when the non-owner of the Hull C was trying to dock, it would almost immediately impound the vessel. So, meh. They got some work to do. They got some work to do. I'm pretending to be a guy who knows what his actual job is. I've been practicing for months. You're not too far off from where I am. I'm kind of doing the same thing right now at my job. I'm the FNG, and I pretend to know what I'm doing. I mean, I know what I'm doing, but there's certain things that I still have no clue. The machine screws up, and I'm just standing there staring at it like, what? How do I fix this? How do I fix it? It's an interesting job. I love it though. I absolutely love it. Well, without further ado, I was hoping Jim would be in here right away. I see he hasn't made it. Yeah, we're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into this. So this week for Hot Take Tuna Tuesday, I kind of did like a little voting thing. We'll do it again. We'll definitely do it again. He's probably doing work. Yeah, I'm doing work. We kind of did like this little voting thing, and I put them up into. I put them up. Oh, that one's last. This one goes up here. You don't belong here. Okay. I kind of put them in order, from top to bottom, of the ones that won the vote. But yeah, we did a cool little like voting thing in Discord. If you're not in the Discord and you would like to be, I'll put up a link. It'll be this link is good for 7 days because I don't pay the $29.99 a month to be super cool on Discord. All right. So these are the ones that won the vote. These were the top two right here, or no, the top three right here. They got 3 votes each, and then these other two got 2 votes each, and this last one is just one that I thought would be a good one. Why did it reset and do that other? Oh no. It's fine, Allergic. I'm not asking people, like, if you don't want to participate, you don't have to participate. If you don't want to vote, you don't have to vote. I just thought it would be a fun little thing to do. I thought it worked. There was a couple of good conversations around them. But yeah, let's get into it. This one is, we need to talk about base building and Star Citizen. And this worries me. Botrix, I removed you from YouTube. We're gonna have to fix that.
Hello.
So let's see what GFA has got to say about base building.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking base building. So we're going to watch the presentation from CitizenCon that's just gone last weekend, and I know that some people have been asking me, when are we going to be back to gameplay stuff? Very soon. We're just going to get through the rest of the
See, this is how you get subscribers. You have to have an English voice, and you get subs.
CitizenCon stuff, have a little chat, and then we'll get back to some gameplay videos and some tutorials or whatever we fancy.
What's up?
There's some really fun stuff coming up, so stay tuned for that. Also, if you're not subscribed, I'm trying to reach 5,000 by the end of the year. That would be amazing if I could. So if you wouldn't mind whacking that I'll occasionally watch something of yours button, and make sure to turn on the I will snooze this more than my morning alarm notification button. So base building. Over here on my other monitor, I've got a list of bullet points of all the things I want to mention today, but I thought what we'll do is we'll quickly watch the presentation because it's very short.
I kind of want his
and
mic
then
set
we'll
up.
go through and talk about it. And the whole point of this video, by the way, is a very open forum. So I want you all in the comments below to comment your thoughts and your concerns, because I definitely have concerns over the base building. I've mentioned it so many times in the past, and I will touch on these concerns today. It's still very...
Oh, it zoomed in a little bit. See right there? He might have a Hull C on his shirt. He's got a big giant space dog on his shirt.
Many times in the past, and I will touch on these concerns today. It's still very, very early doors in the development. In fact, someone left a comment on my previous video saying that they have scheduled 152 weeks of development. That is 4 weeks short. That is a month shorter than 3 years, okay? Which is crazy. Anyway, Let's watch the video. Let's talk. Get your little keyboard fingers ready, because I'd like to see the comments and responses from you. But without further ado,
honestly, I think that's a Polaris that he's got on
So
his
here we go. Oh, by the way, sorry. Peep the freaking...
Oh, it's the Serenity. Hell
when they
yeah.
dropped this at CitizenCon, what a moment.
Guys, if you haven't ever watched the TV show Firefly and the movie Serenity, do yourself a favor and watch it. It's by far one of the most fantastic sci-fi TV shows / movies. In my opinion, it was cut so short. So short. Oh, yeah, it's definitely
I love
in my
hearing the cheering of the audience. I want to go to the next one so
5 shows
badly.
of all time. So peaceful and serene until I use my A2 to drop a bomb. And then it's nothing but a white flash and a loud
The land
noise.
claim start stuff is something we need to talk about. Sorry if that was loud. It was loud for me.
I'm really interested on how they're going to do this.
It's so cool. I really hope we get to see these blueprints. I'll replay this as we talk about it silently in the background when we're talking in a second, but I hope we get to see these blueprints.
Shiny, Captain.
Nice. So sick.
Oh.
There's so much we need to touch on, like hangars, how the hangar stuff going to be implemented in.
How you doing?
Hells yeah.
Really,
is that mining or fabricating?
Well,
I think they said it's mining, right? Mining resources on the planet? I think that's what it is. There is fabricators as well. Oh yeah, that's all the SEU filling up from the mining resources. Of course it is.
I really want to know
I
how
have
they're
got
going to build
fabricators
this
though
out.
to create things and stuff.
Join our Discord. I just put up a link. I'll put it up again.
And I believe they said in the presentation that you will see the blueprints placed down on the ground before you do them, so you can like prep and plan your entire base beforehand, which would be really...
So here's one of the things that I want to know is he's saying that you know, we're hearing rumors, but supposedly you can lay down your entire base design before you build it, which is really, really cool, and I like that idea. But I'm wondering, like, how's it going to actually work? Are you going to need a Pioneer to do this? Are you going to need some other ship to do this? Is it something that you can do by hand, by bringing resources to it and adding it to the collection pool, or using a multi-tool, or however? That's what interests me. How are we going to be able to do this? Because I really, 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 really don't want to have to buy another ship or wait for it to become available in game and then grind out 30 million to buy the ship to build a base, because that would suck. I mean, right now we know that base building is nowhere near being able to be released to the public, because we know that make sure you check out the rules section and hit the little 100% emojicon down there. One of the things that we know is that right now there's going to constantly be wipes. You know, every major patch there's going to be a wipe. People are not going to be happy when their base gets wiped. We know that they're going to eventually do away with the wipe, so that'll be a good thing. But I'm just wondering how far this really is off. You know, is it 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years away? I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and find out. But I do like the ability to build bases. The one thing I said it during the during another React, that if you do plan on building a base, just know that you're more than likely going to be married to that location of Star Citizen for a long time, because you're going to constantly have to be going out and farming materials for it, building defenses, defending it, doing your upkeep, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So thank you, appreciate you. So it's going to be one of those things where we're going to just have to wait and see how involved it is, how much resources it takes, how much credits it takes, how much time it takes, how much real time it takes. And but I'm excited for base building. I really am, for a couple of reasons. One, it would be awesome to have your own central location that you don't have to constantly spawn in a space station. And I don't know about you guys, but I've played games like DayZ and other games where you could do base building, and there's nothing more that pleases me than putting up a really good defense of people trying to raid you, or kicking in the door and taking what's not yours. I think the ship is required. I will as soon as I'm done with the stream, sir. Appreciate you.
Really cool. Hopefully that is how it is. Oh, obviously it will be, but you can outlay all the blueprints beforehand, which is nice.
Make sure you get your Rick and Morty cup of coffee going, like I did on Halloween.
Really cool design. Really, really cool design. And the fact they've already got these models in, obviously, because they've made them for this trailer is a really good sign.
That doesn't necessarily mean that they have the assets in. These could just be pre-rendered CGI models.
Nice.
The med area. I really liked the they showed
weird medical bay there when you actually think about it.
It was a
very strange medical bay.
It was for like your
if that's what it is. It looks like it anyway.
For your farming.
Could it be physio? Yeah, dope. Turret on top. It looks like. Cool. Okay. Build your home.
Oh, I thought it said base.
In the verse.
In the verse.
All right. So base building. All right, it
Look
breaks
at all
down
those
into
whales.
two really large gameplay sections: planning ahead and prepping, and then you've got the on-site where you're actually going to build.
See, I want to know when he's going to start talking about the stuff that worries him.
Is it to have a home with a nice view and relax? Is it to have a trading post?
I'll hide that for a second.
Create and sell items. Is
C2,
it to gather
baby.
resources available and move on to
We
the
all
next
know that
area?
A2 is better.
Or is it to be off grid and be completely self-sufficient?
All sound really good, right?
So with that,
all sound
with
really,
your prep
really
and everything
interesting.
like that, we've got blueprints.
In order for anything to be self-sufficient, the amount of resources needed is going to be astronomical. And I'd really like to see how Star Citizen handles that. But this part right here is what really interests me right here, the blueprints and materials. According to some of the stuff I saw on Spectrum, you're going to have blueprints for ships, weapons, armor, whole host of things. So it hopefully being able to manufacture stuff is part of a major part of game loops, and that would be awesome, because I'm kind of getting tired of everything just being a credit farm, buy the next ship kind of deal. It would be nice to be able to farm blueprints. And tisk, that is one demerit, Jim. That is one demerit. But this I am super interested in, because like I said, I'm so sick and tired of credit farming. The ability to find and create things with blueprints would be so much fun. So much fun.
So the recipes.
Even if I could just sell them off.
From a blueprint.
Like, even if
Which
I
is
can't
cool,
build it,
like,
if I could sell it off, hell yeah.
Rewards,
It's nothing it's nothing new, but it's tried and tested. So it's been in loads of games. We've had it like No Man's Sky. We've had it in pretty much any game that has base building that I can think of has a blueprint system, whether it's like Rust or whatever. So
yeah,
I think it's a good method. It allows you to go and do missions and stuff and find these blueprints around the verse, and I think that's really cool.
Me too.
And to have different bases from other people, especially if they're...
Me and Marcus were goofing around last night saying that in the next year or so, or within the next year, when you click acknowledge when you buy a ship, when like you pledge and then it asks for your money and then you hit OK and then it gives you those terms, you're going to have to scroll down and add primary beneficiary soon.
There's a really rare blueprint that everyone's searching for, and you're on the hunt for something like a specific hangar or garage or whatever it's going to be in your base.
Today is the day.
And you're just like searching.
I have to double check. Thanks for stopping in, Will. Today is the day for the Pyro preview in the Pyro Playground. I have not launched Star Citizen, so I don't know if I've been one of the lucky few that is chosen to play right away. But from what I understand, unless they changed it, people with the digital goodie bags and the people that went to CitizenCon go into a raffle for first day access, and then or first week access, and then after that it starts going down the normal PTU waves, the 5 waves, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all of that stuff. So I will get to it when I can get to it, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to get in. So we'll see. We'll see.
The depths of one of the star systems, like, apparently it's quite common to spawn around this. I love the idea of that in an MMO where there's hotspots of things like that. So that's really cool. Yeah.
I agree. Here's another thing. Sorry, we're kind of getting sidetracked. JT brings up a really good point over there on the YouTubes. People who backed over a decade ago, they should get some sort of bonus. I agree with that. They should get some sort of bonus or some sort of goodie bag, or in my opinion, they should get first crack at a lot of the stuff that comes out. Like if you've been backed for a decade, screw the concierge. You should be the first ones to get access to it. That's kind of how I feel. The other thing I feel is if you've pledged $100 or more into Star Citizen, everybody should get a free copy of Squadron 42. You help fund the game, you should get a free copy of it. That's how I feel. But we know that that's not going to happen. We get trauma surrounding elevators. That's right. The elevators, man. They'll kill you. They'll eat you up and spit you out into space.
And then create different variations with materials ranging from the common to ultra rare.
And I see the rare shopkeepers brought up in a few different sections of the Citizen Cons. I want to know what rare shopkeepers
rarity, legendary stuff,
refined, simple materials, or even complex components will all go into the fabrication. With this, then you got location, location, location.
I wish, Jim.
First area is high
Will,
security.
thanks for the follow.
So you must purchase the land. The base is actually invulnerable because the planetary.
I'm not sure how I feel about this bit.
A security will show up to protect it.
I'll explain in a second.
You pay
I want to hear what he has to say, but I don't like this bit either. This
point,
right here,
you won't have the best
no.
resources available. You won't have access to the best resources available on the planet. If you don't pay your taxes, the shields will go away after a period of time, and the base will become derelict and will collapse.
Now that
But
I
this
do
is
like.
low risk, low reward. Then you've got low security. So again, you must purchase the land. It's owned by an independent corp, gang, or faction. Again, you don't have access to all the best resources on the planet. The base is vulnerable. AI NPCs will show up and protect the base if it's attacked. The protection will escalate over time. Player can also build defenses.
Wait for the last one, then I'll
well.
comment on it.
And then it's
So JT, when I first joined, it was 316 point whatever, and then 317 started. And when 317 started, the elevators were so bad that I don't know if everybody's pretty much here has been to Everest Harbor. But what I would do is I would run over to an elevator, click the button, and then run and hide around the corner in the next room away from the ASOP terminals and do the lean thing, looking to see if the door would open. And if the door opened and an elevator was there, I'd run back and jump in. Because at that time, if you were standing too close to the elevator and you hit the call button, when the elevator came and opened up the doors, it would suck you out through the space station. You'd get damaged on your way out through the space station. And then it would just blast you off into space. It sucked. It absolutely sucked. You'd be floating around out there, damaged, and it sucked. It sucked.
medium reward.
I remember
medium risk.
there's that showed that
Then you've
they
got
were there.
lawless. So this is no protection other than what you build.
Well, that had to
There's
suck.
shields, anti-air. Players can disable the shields by getting close to them and destroying them. High risk, high reward. Since there's no taxes, no protection fees.
Somebody did a bad job with this right here. Can't see over
Now,
here.
there's some cross-shard and server meshing considerations that will.
Thank you guys for the 6 likes. Thank you everybody for joining me on Twitch.
We'll get into that
I appreciate you all this morning.
Once we're really building it.
And happy Halloween.
Okay, so a few things to touch on there.
What's up?
The obvious
I'm
ones
almost done
are
with your thing. Almost done.
they're
I'm
not
working
building
on
it yet,
gyms,
which we know.
gyms and JTs as well.
When it comes down to like locations and when they're saying high security, low security, medium security, or no security, for me, what I don't quite understand, and I'd love.
Also, everybody, if you like awesome music, classic rock music, all the way up to within the last 10 years, I think, is most of his videos. Check out Mr. E. He does shorts on YouTube. Does a lot of really cool things from, just showing off some cool stuff that ships do, like when, they look pretty when they're in quantum, to some pretty awesome stuff of shooty and blowing up, and some funny stuff as well. I'm going to go as 318 for Halloween today.
Everyone's input here. So they're saying that, depending on it, if you have a high security, you're paying for that with the taxes and such, and you have like an impenetrable force field. That's the payoff, right? Like it's safe from other players, but it's now a high chance it will just decay because you haven't paid the taxes. So I feel like most of us are going to be in that medium security band.
Wonder,
well, look, we know how video games work. There's always a way to cheese it. There's literally always a way to cheese.
Damn straight, Chaos.
Like AI defenses.
Damn straight.
So that's what worries me personally. And the other thing that I'm worried about is having these locations being in bands.
Automatic
everyone's
shout-outs.
going to know from when they pick their band where the high and low security areas are. So surely if you jump on your friends, you're like, hey, you want to go raid some bases? You're going to go straight for the low security area where there's no AI security. It's just down to who's built a better base. They could literally just rinse through any base they want depending on the defenses. And I get it. I get that's the point. High risk, high reward. You want to build up your defenses and you want to prep for that. Make sure you have enough resources to have that defense. I do get the concept. I really do. But I'm just not too sure if it's going to cause issues with griefing. I feel like that with any base building. I'm going
to stop him there because there's a few things. There's a few things I want to cover. Oh yeah, no problem, Chaos. I can show you how to do that. The program I use is pretty easy. Once you the first time you look at it, you're like, oh god, and then once you see how simple it is, you're like, that's actually pretty easy. Now, on to what GFA is saying. I don't like this part of the situation with the high security, the land claim. Oh, sorry. The land claim, full protection, taxes, high cost, low return. What I don't like about that is this section right here, as explained in the Citizen Con and other places. These were for people that pledged for land claims. So basically, we're never, ever, ever going to get to these bases and be able to raid them. It's by the way they explain it, it sounds like trying to get into these places is going to be a far higher risk than the reward is. Yeah, it's going to be higher risk than the reward is worth. And I don't like that. I think every base should be raidable. I think every base should not be completely invulnerable to attack. I don't like it, and we'll see what actually happens. Hopefully they just have higher protection, and maybe there's security forces in the area, and if you dodge them out or take out comms or whatnot, you don't have to deal with this as much. But we'll see where it goes. This low security and the no security locations, that's like for us plebes that don't pledge huge amounts of money to Star Citizen, and these are probably going to be the most common bases that you come across. Like I said, I want to see how this works out. What kind of security is there, both that the player can build, and then what kind of planetary security there is. They did say they're going to have shields, and you have to maintain them, and that's part of paying your taxes and fees. The no security, you get there's no protection, no taxes, and it doesn't look like you get shields unless that's something that you can build. But once again, we'll find out. But these are going to be what we come across. Now, he brought up the wonderful word that I absolutely hate when it comes to Star Citizen, and that's griefing. If you build a base and you put stuff in it, people are going to try to take it. That is not griefing. That is legitimate gameplay. If you build a base and you don't build it right, or if you build a base and you don't have defenses, people are going to walk in and take what they want. That's not griefing. I mean, multiple times CIG has said they want this to mimic real life. Well, you buy a house or you build a house and you put your stuff in it, but you lock the doors, right? We all lock the door. We all lock our doors. The same situation is implied here. If you build a base, and you should be able to lose that stuff if you don't protect it. That's just how it goes. Once again, we'll see what happens. The only way I would consider it griefing is if you keep hitting the same base over and over and over again because you think it's funny, or you're trying to farm salt. You know, you hit the same swiggity swooty chaos squad coming from that base booty. Yeah. But like, if you hit a base and then a week later you show up and they don't have anything of any value and you just start blowing stuff up anyways, and then you do the same thing a couple of days later and a couple of days later and you just keep doing it over and over again, then yeah, I might consider that a little bit of griefing, but still it's within the realm of the game and the guy still hasn't built any defenses, so it's kind of free. I don't know. I kind of sit on the fence on that one. But I don't really see much of what we call griefing in Star Citizen as griefing. Shooting at somebody just to shoot at them is, in my opinion, not griefing. Pirating is not griefing. PvP is not griefing. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. But we will see where this goes.
I've said so many times on this channel, base building, I don't like the idea of it in Star Citizen personally. I'll do it and I'll enjoy it because I do enjoy base building in games, but it's not something that.
Here's the difference though. DayZ is built as, so I'm going to catch up on here. PvP alludes to safe zones. PvE focused on invulnerable under planetary defenses implies a lot. Agreed. High security bases can only be built in high security systems. Once again, I agree. Chaos Squadron is swiggity swooty. I'm not a fan of people just blowing up noob houses just for fun and not taking their stuff. I agree, but I don't think people are really, people will do it. And in DayZ, I agree with Mr. E. DayZ, a lot of, so if you're hitting the same base like a couple of 2-3 times in a row, like in the same week, what's up, Coffin? That's really, it's not griefing at that point. It's really strategy, and you're trying to keep those people pushed down so they're not a threat to you. But then again, DayZ is built in a completely different way than Star Citizen, where there is very, very serious risk and very, very serious reward. And the penalties for dying or getting your base broken into or successfully defending your base is really, really high. And so if you fail at defending your base, you lose your stuff. If you mount a really, really good defense and it's against a lot of people, there is a penalty for that as well. You're going to lose a lot of ammo. You're going to lose a lot of explosives. You're going to have to go out and try to loot more of that stuff. And like I said, there's all these high risk, high reward things going on in DayZ, whereas it kind of levels itself out eventually. I mean, yeah, some players have a worse time at it than others, but I agree with Mr. E. It's smashing in somebody's door and taking a bunch of their stuff and then coming back a couple of days later and doing it again, especially if it's a large group or a medium to a large group. That's really just a survival strategy. It really, really is a survival strategy, because you're now keeping them busy and keeping them away from your base, or you're keeping them busy and out in the open so that you can get to them, or you're keeping them busy so that you can go to a different town and loot. So yeah, it's a strategy. It definitely is a strategy. If we raid you, don't try to move your base to a better spot or defend it. That's on you, not me. True, very true.
I am enjoying the
same,
concept
Brian.
of.
If my
One of
base
the big
keeps getting
reasons, and I
blown up,
mentioned
I'm
this
gonna pick
in
up
the
six and
Star
move
Engine
somewhere
video,
else.
I don't want to come planet side, come cresting through a cloud layer. There's rain hitting my windscreen. I'm fully immersed. I've got alarms blaring.
If you want
maybe my shield
protection,
generator's down.
join
I'm
an org.
fighting the sticks to keep it in the air, and I'm like, I need to put this down now. And I don't want to come cresting through the cloud layer, look down, and just find a penis-shaped base or a titty-shaped base, because it just breaks immersion. I don't want players to have that freedom of building any shape they want, because you know there's going to be people that build stupid stuff that look stupid.
So GFA, in that, you're talking about people building stupid shaped bases, you know, making them, you know, phallus shaped and mammary shaped. For those that don't know, penises and titties. Are you this opposed to people when they salvage because they draw giant dicks on the silver dicks in this game? I mean, people draw boobies on the sides of hull C's, or not hull C's, of C2s when they're salvaging. So does it affect you, man? Does it like hurt you that bad that somebody made something that you don't like? I mean, that I don't know, man. Like, I think that's a kind of a lame way to look at this stuff. It's not. If you don't want to look at it, then don't fly over it again.
Or that says a swear word or something like that. And DayZ is played with it. If anyone's played DayZ, the amount of like sky bases where someone's cheesed it on top of a tree and there's a base just levitating from the very top of a tree with like.
You're playing on the wrong servers if you have sky bases. If sky bases on every server I've ever been on are illegal and against the server rules. So please don't compare sky bases to somebody drawing a dick on the ground with their base.
A ladder that goes from
yes,
heaven down to the freaking ground. Like, I just hate the idea of that freedom for players, because you give it to them and I guarantee.
Okay, so there's a big fallacy to his argument. He wants freedom to do whatever he wants, but he doesn't want freedom for everybody else to do what they want. If they want to draw a titty base on Pyro 4 or wherever we're going to be able to build these at first, you're playing the wrong game, because this is all about player freedom. You this game is about player freedom and the ability to do whatever you want. Because somebody drew "fuck you" in the sand on Hurston with the base. I'm sorry if you're butthurt about it, but too bad. Either raid it and destroy it so it doesn't say that anymore, or don't fly over it again, or fly over it and laugh at it, because that's what you should be doing.
To you, there will be dodgy bases, and the only way we can get around that is if CIG have like a report system, right? And I mean, and we'll talk about land claims in just a second. But yeah, that's my initial concern with base building. But let's continue, and then we'll.
Okay, so if your initial concern is people drawing swear words, penis-shaped bases, and titty-shaped bases, and you want CIG to restrict freedom, and then lastly, you want a reporting system. To that I say, all 5 of those points except the last one. Too bad. So sorry. Get over it. And stop being a wuss. The last one, they already have reporting systems within the game. Nobody is going to, I guarantee you, nobody at CIG is going to care at all if somebody drew a dick in the sand, a booby in the sand, or wrote "fuck you" over on some planet. Now, if it said "I hate fill-in ethnic groups" or "I hate fill-in sexual preference," then yes, they'll probably take issue with it, delete it, and suspend the player and move on with their day. Anything else, come on. Do you really think those devs are as mature as you think they are? They're just as childish as us. Somebody's going to draw something like that or write something like that, and they're going to sit back while they're sipping on their coffee or their tea if they're in the UK and laugh their balls off about it. Nobody's going to take this serious.
We'll touch on the other bullet points that I've got.
Yeah, exactly, Will.
So from here, you've got the tools. So this is what we would consider a surveyor. With this, we want to actually cater to everybody's playstyle, whether you're solo or in an org.
Perfect.
With this, you got different buildings that you can produce, from small, medium,
I
to
love
large
this.
to
I love
okay,
this.
So this is cool. So we don't need the ship.
So with the surveyor tool, you can only build the small buildings.
Ah.
With the vehicle, you can build small and medium-sized buildings. With the Galaxy, you can build small to large structures. And then obviously with the Pioneer,
woo, ships!
Pioneer can do
ship
it all.
porn.
And it still works as a mobile base. And we'll talk about some of the
Will.
more expanded features that we're adding to it.
We're going to land it.
Okay, so me and my group, I did a watch-along party, and I think we ended up talking during this part, and I just didn't hear it. But this is good to hear. Let me back that up just a little bit. So if you're a solo player and you want to build a small base, you get the surveyor. I broke YouTube's. Oh no. Oh no. What's going on here?
I guess nothing's really permanent in space because it.
All right, let's back it up. So
Pretty good about to
that's pretty cool. I'm not going to back it up and break YouTube again. So you get the little surveyor, the vehicle, the Galaxy, the Pioneer. So that's really cool that they're going to do that. I appreciate that. That way we don't have to be tied down to just the Pioneer and have to spend, what is it, $1,200? I don't know. I'm just guessing for a ship to build our bases. So that's really, 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 really cool.
Land it
later on. So, and then it's also, we're exploring what can be done in space, not just on the planet.
And
the space bases.
The space base part.
Okay, space bases.
Space base makes me happy.
Really, again, really cool idea, and I get, again, that they're going to try and build that in.
What's he going to say?
I don't see how they can do any permanent space base.
Why?
I guess nothing's really permanent in space because it can float around, but I don't get how they can do that because land claim. Land claim works
with you, Jim.
because you're claiming a plot of land of coordinates, which again we'll touch on more in depth in a second. But space, you can't really. Unless
yes, there is. There's coordinates in space. There's a X, Y, and Z coordinate system in space. So yeah, there's coordinates. You can claim stuff.
you buy bubbles, and then all of a sudden you're buying bubbles
300 for me.
a planet, and what's to stop you then trying to land on that planet and coming into an organization's base that's protecting that planet and basically taking over that planet? Would that then break? I don't know. See, this is what I don't know. It wouldn't be that hard for an org to, if they're saying space bases, to have an entire space fleet that's just hovering above a moon, and that's their location where they sit all the time. And then suddenly you've got an org. Do you know what I mean? And suddenly you can't go to Yella because there's an org that owns it now, because there's orgs big enough to do that. So I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. Land claim works. Space-based, maybe stay away from that.
I don't think, now this is going out on a stretch, I don't think CIG is going to allow you to just build a base right over a planet. I bet you it's going to have to be out in like deep space somewhere, or they're going to tell you you can't build within a certain diameter of a planet, or certain areas of planets, like around certain areas of planets. Just like I guarantee you, they're not going to allow you to just set up a base right next to Lorville. I don't think they're going to allow that to happen. Just like I don't think they're going to allow you to build. I don't think they're going to allow you to build a base anywhere near a point of interest. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I really think they're going to put limitations on it. I mean, the same thing in DayZ, Rust, name all the base building games that you can think of that are multiplayer. In those servers, they have rules. Like, you can't build a base inside of a military zone in DayZ. You can't build a base around water sources. You can't build a base near a water source and then wall off the water source. You can't do and then make it so that only you, like, put a combination lock on it or something of that nature that only you can get into without having to use explosives. That they don't allow that sort of stuff. So I'm going to assume they're going to do the same thing here. Nobody is going to let you just build a base. Like, I see what he's saying, but nobody's going to be allowed to build a base around Evers Harbor, and nobody's allowed in or out of Evers Harbor unless they pay the org. That's not going to happen. I guarantee you that's not going to happen. People will try, but it's not going to happen. I hope we get player bases. I hope we get player space stations or space bases. I would love to set up I don't want to say a pirate one, but an outlaw one. Those that live a little on the outside of the law, they want to rebel a bit. I would love to do something like that.
Having like a space caravan, or a space like what the Pioneer is, and having that space ship that's a home from home, where you can have all your refineries and stuff.
It would be cool.
I'm there for that, and you can drive it around. It's basically like an RV, right?
I just don't think they're going to allow us to build.
But to then have it where you can maybe
bases,
branch off in space stations, which
or
is
too close
kind
to
of what
points of
insinuated.
Interest. Good morning, stranger.
Maybe I'm taking that wrong again. Let me know if you think I'm wrong there, but that worries me. I hope they don't do that. That's my opinion. Love your input. Comment below. Let's continue.
Yes, let's continue.
So with the land claim, you put your tool down.
We're only halfway through this. We've been talking a lot. I've been talking a lot.
Built into the machine, and then from there.
This is different than I thought it was. Did I miss this?
You missed it.
I thought the land claim was going to be you buy it on like the RSI website or in game, and you're buying like a plot.
No,
because they've sold land claim locations.
Those are the premium ones. Those are where you.
So I thought it was going to continue that way.
Invulnerable if you pay your taxes.
This looks like you just go wherever you want and place it. Again, I have to say, obviously they haven't even started development in this, so this will likely completely change. But let's, for the sake of this video, let's say it's not.
Tuna juice at Scards Ne'er-Do-Well Outpost. Yeah, that would be great.
With the land claim modes, the player can actually change the size and position of what area they want to claim, and it also shows you the cost and taxes associated with it. If it's in a taxable zone and you don't own the land, this interface will default to it.
Cool. That's really cool.
If you own land or it's in a lawless area, it'll automatically go to base building mode.
Ooh.
So with the overhead view of the land, you can actually place down buildings exactly where you want. You can see the resources beneath the surface, and then you can also place multiple buildings before you actually build. So you can see how it will all kind of come together.
I hope so, Jim.
You'll see the resources that are needed for it. And then you can also switch back and forth between different modes, which are showing off the resource network and how you link basically power generators to consumers.
So this is really cool idea, and I'm sorry, I will pause it as we go just to talk about it quickly, but what I'm not a huge fan of, and what I think I misunderstood initially, if you have two people in two separate servers or shards or whatever that have claimed the same location, right? So I'm assuming that when you, and this is maybe what he was referring to when he said server meshing is going to change a few bits. I'm assuming that once a player has claimed a bit of land, it then broadcasts that across all servers and synchronizes to say that other players cannot claim that land. But then what if two players are in a similar area trying to claim a bit of land at the same time? Does it suddenly turn red? Or if they both do it at the same time, will that break the database?
No.
Or will it be server-based on server-based?
None of this
stuff is... In which case, when you change server, does your base just spawning on that server? Or does it say spawned in on the server you built it on, so you've got to try and reconnect to that server? In which case, if it does port over to the new server when it comes with you as you spawn into a new server and you get the new base come in, into that instance.
No,
well, then if someone else has built a base there because they claimed it, it's going to spawn on top of it or inside of it. So that is just not going to work. Just straight up, terrible idea. Can't do that.
It's just not going to happen until
then we have to go right. Well,
server zones
claim a bit
or
of land,
they call it is a thing.
and that's your bit of land. And then that's your bit of land in the entire universe. So that little square of yellow, that's GFA square of yellow. That little square of Daymar, that's Captain Astro square of Daymar. So people are buying it, and it is uniform across all servers. So eventually, all of the real estate on all these planets will slowly get bought up and bought up and bought up. And hopefully the idea is there's so many star systems and so many planets and so many moons that eventually, there's no way that all of these plots of land will be purchasable or be filled up. But it might mean that you can't live on Microtech because all of the land's been claimed on Microtech. You have to go live somewhere else. That's how I thought they were approaching it and how I kind of hoped they were approaching it. I hate the idea of it being different per server. So I own a bit of land and I spawn in and suddenly someone else owns a bit of land.
He's thinking the now, not
it won't
thinking
work. You have to do it. So
I hate talking about the future of Star Citizen.
But I thought you'd have to buy it with either in-game currency or I was hoping obviously not on the online RSR website. Obviously I don't want it to be with real life money, but the chances are that it will be because it's another financial income for them to sell off the land claims, which they've done in the past. So no doubt they will do again. Again, speculation, but that's my opinion. So if they then sell the land claims on the website, then you can buy it. But then does that mean that the people that are wealthy in real life and that can afford the really expensive land claims, are they going to just buy up all of the nice areas? Are we going to have the rich buying up all of Microtech and the rest of us that can't afford these nice 10, 20k packs are sort of slumming it somewhere in a cave on Daymar? Like, how does it work? Is it going to be just... And then can you sell it? Can you buy a plot of land? I would assume land
claims can also be sold on the grey market as well.
There is such a grey area. And this is sort of what I'm saying. It's such a...
Yes, you can sell land claims.
A grey area if it's down that route. But the alternative is it's just server-based and you just claim a bit of land when you land, like you say, and you send up the drone and you say, right, this is my bit of land, bosh. But if that doesn't talk to all the other servers... That's a massive problem.
As I said,
huge,
I keep repeating
server, my base can't spawn because someone else has built there.
He's thinking Star Citizen now. He's not thinking about
I see problems, and I don't know the answers because I don't really know what the plan is, and maybe neither do they. Anyway, let's continue a little bit more.
And then the player can move or deconstruct existing buildings right now with no charge.
Right now with no charge. Right now with no charge. So does that mean that we're going to have to pay to move our bases?
Yes.
Sounds like it.
When you basically build these buildings, they don't come with any furnishings, and if you didn't bring any with you,
you're going to need a
fabricator.
Yep.
So depending on
everything is going to be money and resource based.
That support buildings.
You're not going to be able to just put down a base and be able to like, well, I just want to move
components and even ships.
I want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to counteract or agree with what he's saying.
You need blueprints, resources to craft what you want. Everything fabricated is produced from a physicalized entity. Stats and quality will depend on the quality of the materials actually used.
A little bit, yeah. I think they're kind of trying to take the best of like different game systems that they've seen or played.
So furnishings can be purchased at different locations, or they can actually be
love
fabricated.
That. Yeah, love that.
You can do that via first person.
I'm going to go to Nuke Babbage and buy a...
cool, love that.
With that, you've got different types of
I don't know the
buildings.
animals and whatnot, but a certain rare animal stuffed
elevators,
bed or pillow.
By the
or
way, just while there, I won't pause this for long. The new freight elevators. What a fantastic thing to come to the game. That is going to be game changing, and the fact you can have it at your base, perfect.
And you've got extractors.
And people are going to hate it.
So with
people are going to hate it after a while. I'm telling you right now.
Nothing in regards to
I'm going to pause. The freight elevators, exactly. I want a Microtech Yeti for my rug. That's exactly what I want. You know, in Scard's Love Den, you know, mirrors on the ceiling, Microtech Yeti rug, Crusader space whale skinned silk bed sheets or whatever. I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass. But here's the thing. I forgot what he was talking about.
And you've got extractors.
And hangars and garages and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's what he was. The hangars and the elevators. People, what's up, Adam? People are super excited about the freight elevators and whatnot, but I guarantee you people are going to get very, very sick. I should have an iTuna. I should do something with that. You're absolutely right, Adam. The tedium of it is going to wear really, really fast, because I saw how it works. We all saw how it worked in CitizenCon. When you're pulling up your freight elevator and you got to move all your boxes, and then you got to call up your weapons, move them from the freight elevator into your ship, and go running back and forth doing that, people are going to get really, really bored with it and really, really upset with it after, I'd say, the first couple of times they do it. They're not going to want to do it anymore. You know, you think it takes long gearing up for a bunker mission now, opening up your inventory, dragging and dropping, or shift clicking everything over to your what do you call it? Over to your Barbie doll. People are not going to want to put up with the pull it out of your elevator, put it in a box, take the box over to your ship, open the box, take it out, put it in your ship's inventory, go back, rinse and repeat. They're not going to do it.
With extractors, we want to make sure that nothing in regards to resource gathering is
technology hates you, doesn't it?
A level of player engagement is always needed. So as Nick talked about before, there are different types of commodities, radioactive, perishable, etc. What you'll be doing is pulling out full containers. Then from there, it'll be repairing, or there's wear and tear associated.
So it's not fully automated. I'm hoping what they mean by that, and I know he's still talking, but I think he's already past the point I'm making.
For sure,
I'm hoping what he means by that is, yeah, we have to maintain it. Yeah, we might have to go and empty it every now and then. But I'm hoping it will still mine and produce resources until it's full. And
I'm a cargo trader.
We can have it auto-extract.
I don't want to be pirated.
They probably don't want you to be able to do it and then go offline for a week.
That eats into my profit. You want to know what really eats into your profits?
So you have to actively be mining and working on it. But then just have it break down every,
I need help moving all of this stuff, because I just
don't make it.
I can only play Star Citizen for an hour and a half every day after work,
for 6 hours a game,
and it takes me 45 minutes.
You want to turn it on.
It takes me 45 minutes to load up my ship in my hangar. Well, you should hire somebody. Well, that eats into my profits. Well, then don't play. But in Space Dad.
Upgrade paths for making them more efficient or resilient.
Cool.
Power generators. So with different types of power generators, there'll be some that are more cost-effective as well as effective in different areas. Solar panels will not always work in darkness. Fuel generators will need to be filled up every now and then batteries to store.
This I really, really like too. That resources are finite, and you have to bring in supplies.
To combine
just doesn't automatically happen.
Items.
Yep, love it.
And then you've got defense. So anti-air, anti-personnel.
That's a big torpedo.
And then the big one. We start development Q1.
Cool.
So
awesome.
So
that's me.
all those models that you saw at the beginning where they were placing all that stuff, that's all probably pre-rendered CGI stuff.
Beginning of 2024. That's the presentation. I'm going to really quickly just go through a few of my extra bullet points that we haven't already spoke about. I didn't actually expect to be pausing it and speaking about it as we go, but that worked out easier because it was on topic.
I'm just giving GFA a hard time, that's all.
So let me just go through a few extra bullet points, a few extra things that I've noticed that is either concerning me or that I think sounds really, really cool. So I know they mentioned like garages and the freight elevators. If a ship gets destroyed and you have to get it back on insurance, will it just be delivered back to your hangar, or you have to go and get it from like an insurance depot? Sort of how GTA 5 does it online. Like if you claim your insurance, you have to go to the insurance place and get your new car or your fixed car. I wonder if they'll do that in this game, or if it will just appear on your ASOP in your
It'll probably
hangar.
just appear.
And will the hangar, as I say, will the hangar be moved to your base?
And you'll probably have to pay a higher insurance fee to have it delivered to your hangar.
Which is on the stations. And does this mean that eventually all of the planets will just turn into land claim sites and we'll just start seeing bases over all of the planets and no more beautiful scenery? This is why I don't like the idea of base building. It sounds like a terrible idea to me. It works on single player games. It works on
Adam, I don't think they're going to keep a lot of this stuff. I think people are going to complain really quickly about the extra steps.
We can't have this base building feature until like the update wipes have stopped. So like, mate, this has got to be coming out with the final release of the game. This can't come out where they're still doing
he's once again, he's still talking about current models of Star Citizen, and as I said before, I really don't like talking the future of it because we don't know the future.
Building a base, you're not really going to want to start again.
He's talking now with base building and the now servers. CIG is not going to release this until wipes are over and CIG has figured out server meshing. That's just
will they do wipes to clean up the servers if there's just
loads
of bases everywhere, or half-built bases everywhere that slowly decay and then... I don't know. The whole concept to me seems like not a great idea. I'm sure they'll execute it well, but maybe I'm just too stupid.
I'll be getting space Velcro shoes.
The vision of how they can make it work.
I'll get some.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm not looking
space
forward to it. I really don't know what to think. I like the idea of the planets being more full, and I'm sure they'll have like areas that you can build and can't build. But I don't like the idea of planets being full with just player-built stuff.
DayZ wipes bases
terrible or whatever.
every cycle. It's crazy. I mean, they have to though. So here's the thing. In Star Citizen, eventually, and they've said it before, eventually there will be no wipes. What he's talking about with base building, and I'm probably going to end him here because he's going to make the point. I know he's already going to make the point again about people should be limited in how they build bases because he doesn't want to see a giant space dick on Hurston. And sure, we went over that. But DayZ, they have to wipe their bases. They have to wipe the servers completely clean every couple of months. And they let you know usually a couple of weeks to a month ahead of time. Hey, on this day at this time, we are wiping the server. So be prepared. And they do that for a multitude of reasons. One, so new players can join and get in on that server without having to worry about being... I guess the word would be a little Timmy going up against level 9,000 Super Saiyan Giga Chads because they have all the gear, all the armor, all the guns, all the survival stuff they'll ever need. And then you as a fresh spawner coming in and just getting absolutely decimated whenever you come across another player. And you can't find anything that's worth anything or is going to help you out because these bases are generally run by 2 to... depending on base or server rules, 2 to 6-man teams. So you're just going to get absolutely annihilated. So that's one reason why they wipe. Another reason why they wipe is generally one group or another will take control of the entire server by they own all the explosives, they own the biggest and the baddest vehicles, they have all the gear, while everybody else can't touch them because they don't have enough explosives to get into their base to take that stuff away from them. And then other reasons why they wipe is just to keep the server healthy and keep rolling. Star Citizen is completely different, whereas eventually there's going to be no wipes, there's server meshing, etc., etc. So it's two very different game styles. I get that, but I don't think they're going to allow you to build bases and then wipe. So many people would be upset if they spent days, weeks, months building a base to only have it just wiped as soon as they get it to their version of complete. They would be really pissed off. So yeah, I think server meshing and persistence will have to be completely nailed down before they allow base building, and I think that's where CIG is going with this. So soon TM, I guess. You make all the base fully salvageable, and the ones that stay inactive for too long without players or NPCs cleaning them generate submission to attract players to it. Yes, that would be fantastic, Chaos. CIG's version of wipe. We don't actually plan on wiping. We will do a full wipe. Actual full partial wipe. Too late. Yeah. Conan Exiles. Yeah. I'm sure they do that too. Soon is a 4-letter word. Skeet, welcome to the shit show, and happy Halloween if you're into that sort of thing. So that was GFA on why base building concerns him, and we're gonna start the next video. Yeah, we'll do Voidy vids.
Has come and gone, and the developers.
I am a huge fan of Voidy vids. I love all of his videos. Oh, we got to go back. I almost did something very unprofessional here. Nope. Share and save look like the same word. That was GFA. Make sure you check him out. Leave a like, a comment, share it. Do whatever you want to do with that link. Alrighty. On to what I was saying.
This was recommended to me.
No. Go away.
Has come and gone.
Go away. Where was I? Yes. Voidy vids. I love his stuff. Always gets me to crack up. Funny guy, and love his content. So
On and the developers of our
Voidy
ludicrous
vids.
space game
The ludicrous space game.
dropped some serious bombs.
Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome.
It's just off.
And of course, doing the cinematic slow walk.
Oh my
Second one incoming.
dude, the debris. Oh, dude, it's a bomb again!
Starcloth physics look too good to be possible in a multiplayer game.
Starcloth.
Battlefield called and they want their Levolution back.
See the water splashes?
The new character customizer and Starhair looks great, but it's not exactly high on my list of priorities. Engineering gameplay and fires will hopefully destroy friendships.
I'm commanding Simon to repair the power plant to get it fully operational again.
New user interface, FPS
That
maps, and a
looks
look at the new
awesome.
star map, which is so long overdue. If it was
Star
milk,
map
it would have
looks-
spawned its own advanced sentient life.
There it is.
Give me star map immediately. I want nothing more than to have this star map right now.
Base building, which gave us PTSD of that time CIG sold land claims. And Pyro is actually planned to be available on the 31st of October to a lottery of backers. And Pyro is actually that time CIG sold land claims.
Hold on, I'm not.
Pyro is
Looks like a
actually planned to be
colonoscopy.
available on the 31st of October to a lottery of backers. However, the highlights for me included the live demonstration of server
the star
meshing in
map has been-
action.
The star map has been getting worse and worse this patch cycle. And then every time I'm in a group larger than 2 people, it breaks down. It just completely breaks down and becomes unusable. And then as the server progresses, as your group progresses through the night, you start losing OM markers, and sometimes you can't even jump to planets. It's getting like you'll have to jump to a moon and then back to the planet. And then you're like, oh, hey, look, I want to go to Microtech, and you can't get, you hit your B or whatever your hotkey is for quantum jumping, and you can't target the planet. You can't select it in the star map. And you got to jump, and let's say you're at Hurston, you got to jump to Aberdeen, then over to Magda, then you can actually jump to Microtech. It's so stupid and so annoying and aggravating and frustrating, and just fuck off, CIG, and fix it. Please fix your shit. I'm not even asking for the 30Ks right now. Just please fix the damn map. And like I said, once you get into a group of bigger than 2 or 3 players, you're not getting around. I'm sorry, you're just not getting around. It's such a pain in the ass. And if you do get 2 or 3 players and you're both trying to go to the same space station, or you're both trying to go to the same point of interest, you can't click on the same point of interest or the space station or the planet or et cetera, and you keep clicking on your player, and you're like, oh, that's great. But if you're already within orbit of the same planet that they're on, trying to go to the same point of interest that they're on, it tries to fly you through the damn planet, which kills you. Or if you're trying to go to a planet or a space station, it flies you through the damn sun. Fix your shit, please. Okay, I'm done.
Entities as they transition into the other zone,
Pico murderer.
seamlessly transition to that zone.
Which is pretty cool because this little piece of tech, coupled with the rest of Star Engine, might actually lift the gaming industry out of the technological dark age we've been arguably stuck in for the last 10 years.
The first time I saw this, about 3 weeks ago, working fully, I cried.
And we were officially informed that Squadron 42 years later is finally feature complete.
Squadron 42 years later. The bagpipe part of the song, oh my god, it still gives me goosebumps. I love bagpipes.
I'm
Let's
excited
go!
for Squadron 42.
I don't
as
even
the
care
next
about Squadron 42. I just want
fan, because
Squadron
I cannot
42
wait
stuff to
for
be brought over to
Mitra
PU.
to boss me around. I mean, I'm sure it's going to
Use the
be
Force,
a great
Luke.
cinematic story-driven experience, but what really gets my space hard is that this means we might actually see real progress in the persistent universe as more development
Preach it,
resources
Boydie.
become
Preach it.
available from Squadron 42 to Star Citizen itself. With all this hype-inducing news bleeding out of CitizenCon, however, it didn't take long for modern game journalists to quickly prompt ChatGPT for their news articles and get their work week over with nice and early. 8 comments is...
I'm probably not going to have time, but several game journalists, within a week of the announcement of Squadron 42 being feature complete, they're already crapping on it. And as I've told other people, Squadron 42, if it releases within the next year to 2 years, Starfield is still fresh in the minds of everybody. And while Starfield was overhyped and underdelivered, I enjoy the game. I enjoy playing it. I don't play it on stream, but I enjoy playing it in my free time. If I got a half an hour to kill, and I know Star Citizen is not the game to try to complete anything in a half an hour to an hour, I play Starfield and I enjoy it. Is it a great game? No, not by any means. But I can understand why people are really, really pissed off by how Starfield came out. I don't think, and this has been my long-running thing, I don't think Squadron 42 is going to do well outside of the Star Citizen community. You heard them say it during the CitizenCon thing, that this is the classic style of gameplay, or classic style of the way the game moves, is the late 80s and 90s version of gameplay. People don't want to play a 30-minute mission, land back at their space station, or complete the mission and then have a 5 to 10 minute cutscene giving them a bit more of the story, than to go into another mission and do that and get little blips of the next part of the storyline over radio or through some dialogue that's spoken, if it's an FPS map, and then finish that mission and then get another 5 to 10 minute cutscene about how we're moving forward in the story. People don't like playing those games anymore. They like games, if they're playing single player games, they like games like the way Red Dead Redemption did it, Grand Theft Auto did it. They like not being able to, or not being tied down to just going in one straight line ahead. They like to be able to deviate and do their own things. And this is not it. This is going to be, they keep saying, a Wing Commander styled game. If you played Wing Commander, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, any of those games in the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, then you know what we're in for going forward with this game. It's going to be a very linear game. I don't think you're just going to be able to go, oh, I'm in the Vega system, here's this planet over here, let's turn on my quantum and just jump. I don't think it's going to work like that. But we'll see. Prove me wrong. We'll see.
More engagement than GameSpot deserves, but who am I to judge?
Bad news is good news.
I cannot wait to read the absolute smear
good
campaign
news is good
within.
news.
We can't talk about Star Citizen without mentioning how long it's been in development, but let's give them credit for actually trying to push the bar and live up to their promises. What the fuck is this shit? I came for brutal roastings of a scam game, never leaving pre-alpha. Not this positive sentiment. Let's try IGN's YouTube channel instead.
Thanks for the 9 likes. Thank you everybody on Twitch for being here today.
Congrats to CIG on achieving the milestone of being feature complete. Here's hoping they can polish and optimize it so we can experience it for ourselves soon. Always glad to see this project gain more and more traction. Now hold the fucking phone, handsome viewers. Where the fuck is all the negativity? Has the fucking internet lost its spine? Has YouTube gone too far and removed all sense of healthy critical commentary in its attempt to delete?
It's always easier to bash on something and join the masses to bash on something than defend it.
At the moment, have you liked and subscribed? We're on
yes,
our way
I
to the
have,
outskirts
Lloydie.
of
Yes,
Brea's
I have.
Breaker Yard in an Anvil Arrow, and as you know, all good ships have a name, so I decided to call this one Dirty Nose Downer.
But the M2 unlock, I'm like holding it.
Dirty Nose Downer.
Just get to fair.
Space Decoy. Familiar name?
Yeah, Space Decoy is the...
I've got the M2.
Hey, you got the M2.
Space, Space Decoy's on my ass. Do you want help on the F8?
Yeah.
Yeah, on top of the F8, there's a guy on the ground, but he can be dealt with. He's the pilot of the M2. He took me out because my gun did 0 damage.
Get him, Boydie.
Okay, well, I switched with nerve by going back to the menus, but I'll probably just have the backspace.
As you can see, the ship combat at the moment is how I imagine it would be like having sex with a dead supermodel. Sure, she might look decent and possibly feel good for now, but there's an expiration date, and no matter how much you put in, there's a severe lack of feedback. Master modes and other key features on the horizon will hopefully make space combat more engaging and fun, but time will tell.
Nothing at the moment. He seems to have buggered out for now, but he could be coming back at any point, just off radar. Guys, what are we doing for prize ship?
Cougar or Major needs to bring one, yeah.
That's him.
Wait, let me FPS this bit. We're not Dirty Nose Downers. I see him. Chill.
Drop me.
Chill.
How's that guy living?
If I die,
we need to get rid of him for the angle. He's currently a marker for his friend.
Okay. He's dead.
No, he's not. He's incapped. Now he's dead.
This is going to be sketch though, guys.
Good shooting, Boydie. Good shooting.
A good day when you paint.
Yep.
Just watch the thrusters on him.
Yeah.
Oh, you might be able to jump in there.
Oh, you're screwed.
That's me, like announced half a minute ago.
Yeah.
This thing just kept me.
Star Citizen killed it. Oh, he's
waking
back.
up, yeah.
He's back.
But
Oh, that thing
it's
is fucking
jank as hell.
Thing.
I think that's
I'll
everything.
go get the...
Can we stop it somehow from doing that?
blow it up. We need to get all the boxes out first.
Whoa,
No,
I'm
Major!
inside.
Can you get a name?
All the
Is
boxes
it-
are out
it's
and I'm
deep?
clear.
Okay,
I can't see the name.
Man, how incredible. I'm sure
Oh,
we
that
can
looked
find
fine.
some negative commentary somewhere, as there's hope yet, as perhaps the
There's some
big-time
really
Ultra Dick
good-
Double Series Championship Professional Modern React streamers will bring us back to a sense of healthy skepticism and criticality.
Boy, he's sleeping.
Well, why haven't they had a loading screen yet?
Because it's seamless.
Because I played Starfield, and I feel like I would have had 3 by now.
That's true. You're onto something.
Seamless transition from space to ground. Okay, then do it.
Okay, then yeah, show us it. Then do it. What are these guys talking about, Asmund?
Let me see it. Do it.
Put them in chat. They go through that cloud.
This is great. This is great. I need to do a react like this. I need to do a react like this, except pull a voidy
Show me.
and say
I can tell
nothing.
it's fake because it's not flat.
Absolutely true. That's true.
Oh wow, holy shit. So we actually...
I need to do this. I need to do this.
That's a city.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, more positivity. I don't understand what's happening, but I'm glad that we
But there's
might be
there's some
living
really
in a
good mouse and
timeline where
keyboard
we get
players
to
out
see
there.
this for real. Which brings me to the conclusion that unless you have a seriously unhealthy interest in the Star Citizen project or are happy to just experience what the game currently has to offer...
All right, guys, serious question. Because we're so interested in this game, do we have a very serious and unhealthy relationship with this game? I say yes.
With a pinch of salt and low expectations,
it's gonna
you
explode.
should probably let it cook. As Chris
guess
Roberts
not.
himself said, for the next 12 months before jumping in and expecting
Fungus
a
was
decent
real quick with
improvement
that.
over what we already have in our hands today. But Void Dude, you utter dipshit, I cannot hear you shout. Your YouTube channel is filled with actual, authentic, and incredible Star Citizen gameplay experiences from the last 2.5 years. Surely it can't be that bad. Correct, handsome viewer, but I've made peace with the fact that I am merely an unpaid alpha tester with a record button. I am a slave to the potential I see and experience in this project and cannot achieve a similar gaming experience from any other title in existence. It's been weird to see such mainstream
Bish,
positive
what's up, man?
sentiment
How you
aimed
doing?
towards Star Citizen this last week after living within a safe cult bubble of Chris Roberts worshippers for the last 11 years, which has kept me safe from the overwhelming mainstream vitriol typically aimed towards the project. Holding the line was easy because I'm a patient gamer who understands we're not going to get anything else quite like this within our
Even when she hits us with a frying
unless
pan,
AI
we're like,
drastically shifts from
I'm
replacing
sorry,
women
baby.
to
I
making
love
game
you.
development faster and better. Regardless of where you sit, this is fucking great for me. YouTube are slowly abolishing ad block, and Star Citizen and Squadron 42 is slowly being accepted by the mainstream. I'm going to be I'm so glad we all get to actually experience these incredible games the way Chris intended, and hopefully soon. Thank you, channel patrons and channel members,
he didn't
for
show
all
the
your support, your
bomb.
incredible generosity.
I want him to go back and show the bomb. I want to do that so bad. I want to do two things before I give Voidy his due. There's two things I want to do. I want to catch a bomb, an A1, an A2 bomb, put it in the back of a cuddy, fly over a spot like he did, and drop it out and see if it goes boom. I'm pretty sure it goes boom. And then the other thing I want to do is drop. Spacebub and Bill have talked about this a lot. I want somebody to drop an A2 bomb, tractor beam it, and then play A2 bomb hot potato, Moab hot potato. Ooh, I want it so bad. I want it so bad. I want to do it so bad. It would be so much fun. Have like 6, 7, 8 guys, get like a whole bunch of us together and play A2 bomb hot potato. That would be so much fun. But that was Voidy Vids. As always, fantastic videos from him. We're going to leave a like. I'll share this with you guys. Love me some Voidy Vids. Love me some Voidy Vids. He's good. He's good. Alrighty. Let's do... We're going to skip a Star Citizen one, and then we'll come back and we'll do the last couple of videos. What time is it? Yep. We're going to skip Star Citizen for a moment. We're going to do this other video, and then we'll do the last 3 Star Citizen videos, and that'll probably be a wraps for me today. They put a timer on A2 bombs. No. All right, let's check this out.
Have you ever...
Okay, so this I think fits perfectly into the type of game that we play. This is called The Gaming Whales Have Spoken, and it's by a channel called November Hotel. I think that... Hey, Box Monkey, thanks for the sub. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate that. I think this is going to pertain very much into the game that we play. I very much think so. I haven't watched any of it. I didn't preview any of it. So let's see what November Hotel's got to say.
Have you ever wondered what makes a whale? What compels them to spend thousands of dollars on pixels and colors? What makes them such a destructive force in the gaming industry? To really know that answer, we'd probably have to speak to their therapist. So instead, we're going to settle with their replies in my YouTube comments section. A few months back, I made a video titled The Era of Wallet Gamers, in which we took a bit of a deep dive into some of the degenerate whaling behavior and watched a few people embarrass themselves.
Was it worth it?
Yeah. No, totally. I mean, look, it's like...
And that video sort of blew up. So, of course, it got the attention of...
I don't even know what Genshin Impact is, but I've heard that there's enormous amounts of money that go into that. But I don't know. I know nothing about it. I just know it's probably sexy, mostly close to underage or barely legal age jiggle physics video games.
several whales who took offense to my comments that I made in the video, but that's what the YouTube comment section is for their chance to respond. So let's take a look at the responses.
Yikes! We call all you guys pocket watchers. Just because you don't have the funds to enjoy a game in whatever way you choose, don't mean others don't. Half you guys waste money on drugs, going out to eat, and shoot clubbing every weekend.
Shoot clubbing? What the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah.
Add it all up and see how much you spent. Ain't no difference. This is some people's club/drug, and that is fine. One life to live, whatever makes you happy, you spend your money. If you die tomorrow, you cannot take it with you.
That was delayed.
Okay, first of all, pocket watchers.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you heard it here first.
Wallet
We're
watcher.
being labeled as pocket watchers. Go ahead and wear that badge of honor with pride. Second, this gentleman equates whaling with drugs. So here's where we actually do agree, so that's nice. And lastly, he acknowledges that we can't take our microtransactions.
Okay. I will agree with him on the drug part, because all you're doing with drugs, I mean, biologically, all you're doing with drugs is you're taking a hit of something. Chemically, the drug makes you feel good, but your brain is also releasing dopamine and other addictive substances, because dopamine is addictive. You have to have that constant dopamine drop. When you buy something on the pledge store in Star Citizen, or you go to a microtransaction page and you're buying something on, I don't know what, I guess Genshin we'll talk about. I don't know anything about the game, but I guess we'll talk about that. You spend a bunch of money on Genshin, you're getting the same effect. You know, you're not chemically ingesting something to give you pleasure, but you're pushing the buy button. You're getting that immediate instant gratification, and that dopamine drops off. That dopamine drop hits, and it's the same effect. It's an addictive feeling. Oh, Tide Pod. I lick them. I lick them until the gel coating comes off, and then I like that. It's a far better way of doing it than huffing. You know, straight licking it. It's you get the high better. It's a better high. I just want to let you know you're doing it wrong, allergic. And kids, please don't do what I just said.
With us when we die. It's almost like he's arguing against microtransactions here with that point, but whatever. So this is a pretty common response I see echoed in other comments as well, and that it's because we're poor, and that if we were rich, we'd be spending like whales too. And that's one of the biggest copes out there for whales.
I wouldn't be,
if people had money like them, they'd be whaling too.
No, I wouldn't.
Wrong.
No.
A lot of us out here have an IQ above room temp, so we aren't going to be spending
Adam
thousands on pixels, even if we do have the money. And a lot of us do. We just spend it on things that actually matter. If you've made the mistake like I have of buying microtransactions in the past, it does.
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm sorry for pausing him right away. He's making really valid points. Just because you have the money doesn't mean you need to spend it. I've always said on this channel multiple times, it's your money, spend it how you want. But to me, it makes no sense for me to continually spend money in a game where all you're getting is a digital asset, and you're not actually getting anything physical that you can hold, that you can sell, you can trade, any of that stuff. Your money, your time, you choose how to do it. I'm not going to judge you. If you come to this channel and you say, I've spent $100,000 on Star Citizen, I'm going to say, you know, hey, cool, congratulations, I'm happy for you. But if you're going to use that as some sort of weird flex on me because I don't have a ship that you have, and then you're going to flex that, oh, you can only get that if you get the $30,000 gaming package. It's always been so weird to me. It's always been so weird to me. I don't get it. I really don't. But you know, do your thing, man. Do your thing, man.
It doesn't take long to realize it's just a temporary dopamine hit that almost immediately makes you feel buyer's remorse. So I don't know how some of these copers are out here spending 5 to 6 figures on just microtransactions. In fact, let's hear from one such fellow in the next comment who came out swinging like he's God's greatest keyboard warrior. Cry about my $14,000 in COD mobile skins.
Oh my God.
It's not your money. You didn't earn it. If I want to look fresh, I'm not dumping 200.
Okay, look, I said spending $14,000 on in-game ships is silly. This is even more silly. mobile skins? Are you serious? Are you serious?
Hours into a game just to get something slightly better looking than the default skin? You can grind that all you like, because you have no job. I'm not going to tell you to get a job or education, because I'm not a needy
I'm a
little
plebe,
crybaby.
man. I'm a plebe.
Okay, wait for it. It's about to get really good.
It's super cringe.
How is my gun turning your dead body into a snowman? Or green puddle of condensed scrub juice producing fun? You sound like you're mad that high IQ people have more money to spend. What a joke.
Are you really high IQ if you're spending your money on digital shit?
This is a prime example of a low
Adam,
IQ person not realizing that they are in fact not high IQ, because nobody with an IQ over 80 would leave this type of comment, but I digress. I have 14,000 search and destroy games and 7,000 battle royale games on my account. 201,000 cadles. If I
This comment is rough. This comment is rough.
was like you, I'd expect all that for free. Not even free, but on the dime of Activision for development and server costs. You're a leech. You get to play games I fund with slim purchases for free. How about a touch of gratitude in your voice when you speak?
What the fuck?
God, dude. I mean, what do I even say to this?
So this is entitlement to a super high degree. Yes, he spent a lot of money, but you're not entitled to tell people that you're funding a game that they play for free. You're not. This reeks of, as he said, low IQ, low self-esteem, and absolute coping to the max. This is grade A copium right here. I've spent X amount of money. I should be able to do whatever I want, kind of thing, and I should be able to talk to you however I want, kind of thing. That's low. This is low, man.
This man is Activision's favorite little soldier.
Maybe.
Pure delusion.
And
now, this is truly a very sad person, if you really stop and think about it. But
right now, I don't get strikes. I get claims. I'm sure once I become fully monetized, I'll get strikes and things like that. But you can go back and just mute that area of the VOD or whatever, or unpublicize it. It's not that big of a deal. And this is going to be cringe, everybody. This is going to be super, super cringe and super, super like kumbaya, hold hands by the campfire type shit. I don't do this to try to make as much money as I can. I do this to hang out with you guys and talk nerd shit. I've said it a billion times on this channel. I don't care about the money. I don't want to be famous. I do this to hang out with cool people, talk about nerd stuff, comic books, spaceship games, movies, music, all that stuff. I really don't care about making money. If I make some money, I'm putting it straight back into the channel so that you guys can continue to enjoy this dorky space nerd over here, and we can continue to have fun. That's all. This is all that. It sounds so stupid, but that's what it's about.
But you know what, guys? We need to show some gratitude to doormats like this, because he is funding our games with slings, after all. Now, this next guy, I don't think you guys are ready for this next guy. He got pretty creative.
Ooh.
Some dude who spends extra money on games totally smashed this guy's one and only girlfriend once, and this is the response. So much hate and anger, like he's the Adolf of what he called wallet gamers. I'm sure YouTube subs have never helped buy microtransactions for many other YouTubers ever. Maybe add some more rules. 1. Never subscribe to a channel if it's a gaming channel, because the extra money might be too much of a temptation for them. And we have to keep the gamer race pure. This is what you sound like, kiddo. So I'm gonna call you a Nazi gamer. Gamers who think by overthinking and crying. It gives them a valid reason to act superior towards
Who writes this?
Mobile gamers and free-to-play games.
Shit?
Using 3 extreme examples to overgeneralize? Bit hysterical and dramatic and womanly, eh? Maybe that's why she left, mate. Cry and poop your pants all you want. Servers, updates, and new content all cost money. It's not like the company's parents are paying for it while running it out of their basement. And not like you're complaining anytime you pay extra on OF or PH.
pay to FAP, in case you didn't know. Fact is, it's not your place or business what people do with their wallets, and it never will be. Noon cares if you are mad. This
Okay. That was hilarious. That was hilarious for so many reasons. But dude, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. The amount of mental gymnastics that take place here to okay, the amount of money they spend is, oh my God, it's ridiculous. I don't even get it. I don't get it. You spent money on a game. Cool. Awesome. But the mental gymnastics taking place here is on a whole nother level.
Comment made my day, man. Holy shit, what a legendary comment. I think this one speaks for itself, really, but I'll respond to his accusations just for fun. For one thing, I'm happily married, and my wife isn't someone that would be swooning over a gaming whale in the first place. I have a job, I'm not a Nazi, I don't pay to FAP, and I don't poop my pants. So I'll go ahead and say that this good Christian man is a bit off base with his conclusions. Now, the money spent from this next whale had me gasping for the inhaler, and I'm not even asthmatic.
Battlefield 1 was so much fun.
So prepare yourselves. $356,000 on NBA 2K.
Shit.
Probably another $150,000 over the life of playing other video games. I just love to hear all the people complain and tell me I'm the reason for all their problems. Holy shit. Over $500,000 on microtransactions. And that's what he can name off the top of his head. The real number is probably much higher. His comment then goes on to say that he owns 2 homes and donates to charity and is a good...
Guarantee you right here, he does not own 2 homes. He's living in debt. He's in debt up to his eyeballs right now. I guarantee it. And this whole, I spend time with money in charity. How do you spend time and your money on charity when you spend it all on NBA 2K?
Good member of society and asks why should we care and villainize him. Now this dude is not representative of the majority at all of gamers. But, as I've said in the past, games are being made for people like this in mind. And he even admits that a bit further down in the comment. I myself dislike the modern corporate gaming era. Even if I get special treatment from them, free money in-game to keep me playing, asking me what I'd like to see changed in the game, etc. I don't agree with special treatment. I give away the free money, and some to other players. I decline any offers for my input to affect the gameplay. The dude just casually admits that video game companies actually reach out to and get input from whales. They give them special...
They get input on how they should market their next microtransaction. That's all they're getting. They're not getting gameplay. They're not getting gameplay. They're not getting gameplay opinions out of this guy. Someone who earns that money would never throw it at the wall like that because they understand the value. Exactly.
Special treatment. And if this is to be believed, then this only further proves my theory that video games are being designed for whales from the ground up. They are at the forefront of the minds of the leaders at these game studios and publishers. Absolutely insane. The rest of his comment, he spends being triggered about being labeled an addict and is out of control, and that he's actually super smart because he made his millions, but I'll let you guys decide what to take away from this comment.
He's lying.
I'm just blown away by the special treatment bit. Now, some whales are a bit more regretful and have since changed their ways. I spent nearly 10K on World of Tanks. I learned, and when I played War Thunder, I only spent 1.2K. Which, by the way, buddy, you did not learn anything so far.
That's a lot of money.
If you go based off $1 per 1 hour of time spent, I did get my value, even exceeding it. But still, I wouldn't do either again. I still play both for free now since there's no need to buy more. Was fun for me.
Because you bought everything.
Shit that should have been in a base $60 game. Alright, so by the end of this guy's story, he seemed to have finally learned. So can we get a round of applause for this man learning? I contributed to this issue. I was addicted to this gacha game, Fate Grand Order. I've spent over $20,000 US dollars on that game. It was not worth it. I regret it a lot. All the other things I could have bought with that money. Now I'm happy I'm free to play with games that do have microtransactions.
See, here's the thing. Like, if you want to spend that money, go ahead and spend that money. Now, to me, to me, and this is just me, I'm not saying everybody else has got to be like me. You're all humans, you're all people, you all choose your own, you know, what is it? You guys get to all choose your own story, you know. You guys do you. But when I look at these guys and they're like a 20K, 10K, you know, 350K, to me, that screams time I could have spent with my family, going on vacation, doing things like that, making those memories instead of playing a game with friends that, you know, they may be your friend, but, you know, you're not going out and get a cup of coffee with them. You're not sharing, you know, face-to-face, you know, details with each other or anything like that. And I would just prefer to make memories like that with my family and friends than spend it in a video game. Have I spent $300 in video games before? Yeah. Have I ever exceeded $1,000 in a video game? No. Have I exceeded 500? No. Star Citizen is the most amount of money I've ever spent in a game, by far. By far. Let's get to chat here. This is what causes people to get bored with games. Once you have all the items, what is left to do? Exactly, exactly. Don't be depressed, Allergic. We're having fun with this. Yeah, don't be depressed, man. It's your money. You don't have to justify it to anybody. You don't. These guys are just doing this because they feel attacked because of the video that he made saying that gaming whales ruin other games. We get how Star Citizen is funded, and I don't blame anybody for spending that kind of money. It's your money. You do what you want with it. Nah, he learned a lot. I plan on spending money by the end of the year. I'm so stupid. Wait, I'm spending more money by the end of the year. I'm so stupid. I might as well rank up my stupid and be more stupid. I already lost a lot of fun. I can't see because of the little stupid little emoji thing. And having a large fleet, lose some more. I don't know, man. Like, do what you want. I won't make fun of you. But if you come out swinging like this in some of these comments, I will definitely, I'll definitely make fun of you. But
I might pay a few dollars here and there for some cosmetics. So in a way, I'm still
you guys
to the problem.
Don't
but I need to
flex
start speaking
on people in this channel about how much money you've spent. Like, oh, you're a poser. You think you play Star Citizen, but you haven't hit 10,000 concierge level yet. So
I can say that this video is entirely accurate. I was unfortunate enough to be introduced to this style of gaming at the age of 14, and would spend all of my Christmas and birthday money on BS in mobile games, instead of enjoying my childhood. One thing people don't talk about is the massive influence the industry has on turning children into mindless, compulsive spenders with zero self-control.
That I agree with.
By the age of 20, I had dropped more than 30,000 on mobile games alone in my life. I was a pizza delivery boy who spent every extra cent I had on these games, and it was a crippling lifestyle that just continued to feed itself. Thank God I finally got out. And the top reply to that comment said,
it's a gambling addiction.
Jesus, I'm a fucking drug addict. And when I was using speed, I wasn't even spending that much money. These games need to be regulated. Mobile games
to a point, yes, they do need to be able to
more than drug addiction.
But
regulating these games and banning egregious monetization like this is something I'd really love to see.
Yes.
Get rid of free-to-play entirely, and if anything, live service games should just switch to
these microtransactions and stuff like that. It's gambling. It's really what it is. It's not gambling in the.
I don't think that's what's
hold on, I'm gonna pause them. It's not gambling in the sense like you're going to a casino and pulling the one-armed bandit and you know you may win money, you may not win money. It's not gambling like that, but the addiction level is the same as having a gambling addiction. You know, I gamble. I don't have an addiction to it. I like gambling. I don't advocate other people do it. If you can control yourself and have fun, you know, go ahead and gamble. I like betting on the horses and the dogs. Where I live, gambling like that is not allowed here. I like gambling, but how I do it, I leave my credit cards at home. I leave my debit card at home. I bring my ID, you know, $200-300 worth of cash. I go and I have a good time. And when that money runs out, it's out. It's gone. There's no way for me to go get more. It's all the debit card, the credit cards, all of that stuff is at home. all I have is my ID and that little bit of cash I brought with me. There's no way for me to spend more money. There's no way for me to access more money, and I have a good time. I make small bets. I make $1, $2, $3, $5 bets throughout the day, and if I win some money, I keep going. If I win a lot of money, I stop and I just start getting drinks for myself at that point. But I don't advocate going to a casino with more money than you have, with your credit cards, with your debit card, because that sensation when you start winning, ooh, it feels good. It feels good. It feels so good. And that rush, oh, it feels great. But you got to learn to dial it back. You got to dial it back. But this is a gambling addiction, or the addiction is similar to gambling, is what I should say. I don't pay to win, but I do like different paint in game. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. What else do we got? But it's 100% made me lose a ton of motivation to play since. Yeah, I can agree with that, Adam. I agree. Spend money on stupid shit all the time. Not this stupid shit. Yeah, we all buy coffee when you can make it at home for cheap, 100% how I feel when I put money into a concept. Yeah. I don't feel guilty. I'm a 35-year-old male, and I have happily spent about $1,200 on SC. Some people value different things. That's true. If this is your hobby, it's your hobby, and people spend money on their hobby. Harold, hey, Pagan, you gotta fix your name thing. Feeds that chemical response. It definitely does. Realized I have nothing to work for in game and lost a ton of will to play. I see that. I definitely see that. Let's let him finish
off. There's likely no turning back from where this industry is at this point, but that's what I really, truly hope to see. In-game monetization has been plaguing the industry for far too long. But now, for my favorite comments.
If you're broke, just say that. Broke boy complaining about pay to win, lol. You legit just sound like the average salty broke guy, LMAO. If you're broke and don't have the extra cash flow, just say that. Don't bitch because people have it better off than you and don't have time to play weeks on end like a child. Broke boy bitching.
Look 2 comments above you, Adam.
Modularity is like a really big deal in Star Citizen. It's something that we have been waiting for about as long as the game has existed. This is something that they've talked about many times, and they've used it kind of as a sales tactic at times, so it rubs people the wrong way. You saw that with the Galaxy. The Galaxy was a really interesting ship. A lot of people wanted it for the modularity, despite modularity still not coming out with the ships they've talked about. And if I can find it here, we can see the last time they sort of mentioned it with the Retaliator.
We love you, man.
Okay, here we go. This is at least where they mention it. Let's listen to this.
Oh, it started. It started a new video. My bad. It started a new video. He didn't even.
Have you ever wondered what?
He didn't even close this out. But huge big thumbs up. I'm going to share this with you guys. You guys share this around if you'd like. That was November Hotel. I absolutely loved this video. There was a lot of funny comments in here. There was a lot of mental gymnastics and copium-induced reactions when he was calling these guys whales. It was a good time. I really enjoyed that. Okay, let's see, what time is it? Last 3 videos of the day. Last 3 videos. I think I shared the other one, the Voidy or the base building. I'll share them all again. Here's base building. Here's base building. Here is Voidy. Pagan, I hope work's going well. I know you said you had some big things coming up for work. I hope that's going well. All right. This one is by Stranger Danger. Shout out to Stranger Danger if he's still in chat. Go and visit him. I'll leave a link. I'll do it pre and post, but a pre and post nut. Anyways, this is Stranger. Check him out. He does a lot of PvP stuff. Hangs out with Chaos Squad. Yeah. So going forward from CitizenCon, what's next for CIG? I'm very interested in what Stranger has to say. So make sure you go and check him out. Leave him a sub, leave him a like, all that stuff, guys.
So wait a minute, your username is literally Stranger Danger.
With CitizenCon behind us now, what expectations can we realistically have now for CIG moving forward? Well, I'm hopeful that they can release even 80% of what they proposed for the next 12 months.
Have a good one, Fungus.
We have
Thanks
to
for
temper
stopping by.
expectations, and let's honestly be realistic here. CIG doesn't have the best of track records when it comes to releasing content in their timeline, but we can be hopeful.
Yes, we can.
Maybe a little bit. See if what's been said is true, and some of
cautiously optimistic is the word I like to use, or slightly skeptical, or another one I like to say is prove me wrong, CIG, and I'll change my tune. But I think we should all be we should be optimistic, but we should be very mindful of how high we're setting the expectations. So I think that's a really good advice from Stranger.
the assets from Squadron 42 are being released to work on the PU now, maybe that extra manpower might get some of these things out in a more timely manner than we're used to. But I'm going to stay cautiously optimistic.
Yep, he said it.
Full
he
well
said
that there probably will be some delays in development and hurdles that they got to cross and things they got to do to get things out. I think CIG poised themselves on possibly having the best possible year coming up if they can live up to the hype. See, right now everybody's jumping with joy. Everything we saw at CitizenCon looked great and wonderful, and
it really
gave everybody
did.
a nice big injection of hopium.
Really
but
did.
The main problem we have is that when you log on to the PU right now, we don't have any of that.
I think the biggest problem, and maybe he'll get into it, maybe he won't. I think the biggest problem is CIG's reputation. It's the reputation. And that's the issue. You know, I did a reaction to Asmongold, and somebody said, you know, we don't want Asmongold and XQC and all the other, and Dr. Disrespect and all these other big streamers playing Star Citizen because they're going to log in, they're going to find out there's really not that much to do in the PU and the 30Ks and the wipes, and they gave me a whole list of reasons, and they said it would ruin Star Citizen's reputation. The reputation's already been ruined. I mean, if you go and you watch these guys react, they already know about the $5,000 ships. They already know about the bugs that plague Star Citizen. So the reputation's already been ruined. Now, what CIG needs to do is they need to have a really, really good year. Like, really, like, I'm talking like stellar year to start correcting that reputation. And I agree, Stranger Danger's, he's a hell of a pilot.
No, we're playing the same old, boring PU. The one with all the bugs and issues that have been there forever. Now, for me, personally, I don't care. I still have fun. Yeah, there's bugs and things are broken, and it's expected. It's Star Citizen. But we can't automatically assume that all these things we saw in CitizenCon will be released overnight. Everybody knows full and well that CIG is preparing for IAE next month, and with that, the free fly event and ship sales going through. We know with IAE, we're probably going to have a straight-to-flyable ship and probably a concept or two for sale. CIG has also hinted at maybe doing another platinum ticket style event in the future.
That would be really fun. I liked the ticket things that they did. The way they did the platinum, though, I was a little jaded by because of the people that initially got those and the rumors that I heard about how they got them. That aside, I thought the ticket event and the platinum ticket event was a pretty good way to market a ship and get it into people's hands and let them test it out before they go to the pledge store and buy it. I thought it was fun. Yeah, I like it. And he's right. You know, last year at IAE, they had 4 of the fastest selling ships and 4 of the highest money making ships they've ever had. And that was the C1, the E1, and the A1 Spirit and the Galaxy. Those were the high, from what I remember, the highest selling and the most selling of any ships they've ever done, which is kind of why we're getting them now.
To see how they tweak this event, or they're going to keep it how they did toward the end of the event, where once a developer or ticket was in the server, the server becomes locked to give people more of a shot to get it without having the servers flooded with orgs. All in all, I think CIG did great for CitizenCon. They gave a lot of good information. They were very open with the community, the first time in a long time they have. And reality is that if they can produce, even like I said, 80% of this stuff, I think we're in for a really good year. The ball really is in CIG's court now. Now is a time where all eyes are on them. They've got a lot of attention from a lot of big name people and big name companies looking at them like a full-fledged AAA company. If CIG delivers this year, they're going to set themselves up for success in the future. But if they fail to deliver, I think the negative press and publicity they're going to get will probably be the worst they've ever got in their whole history.
Okay, so I said that this year would be a make it or break it for CIG, and it really did break them. They were low on funds all year. I don't want to say like they were in danger of closing doors, but they were lower on funds than they were years previous. And what I think is with this SitCon, the press that they got, the streamers jumping on board this, because like, look, as much as I hate to say it, streamers like Dr. Disrespect, Asmongold, XQC, and so on and so on and so on, they influence people into looking at other games and looking at other ideas and looking at other videos and movies and etc. They can influence large swaths of the population to look at things. If this game does not deliver within the next 12 months, it could definitely be a break year for them, where they don't make enough money, where they have to actually talk about cuts and things like that. But if they get 70 to 80% of this in the game, I think that's a huge win, and they will get positive press for that. But 12 months is a long, long, long way away, and I'm here for the ride, so let's see what happens.
With all that said, what do you think CIG is going to do in the future?
They are, Stranger. They are.
For IE, they're going to release some new tech or anything that we haven't seen before or didn't expect to come out yet? What kind of concept ships do you think they're going to release? Or maybe what straight to flyable ship do you think they're going to release? And really, more importantly, what's your overall feel for CIG right now? Are you optimistic? Are you pessimistic? Or are you trying to run the narrow road right down the middle where you're going to go either way, depending how CIG produces? All in all, I'd like to know what you guys think. If you want to hear more about these kind of topics, then hey, drop a like and subscribe to the channel and share the video. With all that said, I'm Stranger. And
what a great way to end the video. Oh, that was good. Oh, look. It's Chaos Squad. It's the Chaos Squad logo. Oh. Back. Alrighty. Let's share it again. Oh, no, that's the report. Let's share again. That was Stranger. That was a really, really cool video. I enjoyed that. Hits a lot of the feelings that I have on CitizenCon, CIG, the upcoming IAE. I'm excited for the future. I just really hope that they can deliver what they promised, and the way he ended that video was awesome. That was really awesome. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Stranger Danger, everybody. Say hi to him in chat. Say hi. Okay. We'll do this one first. This is Star Citizen. Should you buy a Zeus Mark II by STL Youngblood? Steel Youngblood? I don't know. St. Louis Youngblood? I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's see. Youngblood.
Hey guys, Youngblood with you for your Should You Buy video on the newly released concept ship, the RSI Zeus Mark II. This is the Mark II because the ship is designed after and inspired by the legendary Zeus, which in lore was a space shuttle-esque design that was created.
I'm not going to say who, but some viewers were very kind to me, and I got an upgrade and a little bit of moolah, and I upgraded my one of my ships to a Zeus yesterday, and can't wait for it to come out. But until then, I get an A1, so woo!
And sold as the Anyman spaceship. Now, in lore, the ship required a quantum drive that RSI also provided, but the drive was so expensive that basically only billionaires could sponsor spaceflight, and it wasn't really until Tarsus created a much cheaper alternative that really opened the doors for long-range flight that kind of forced RSI's hand into lowering the pricing of their drives. So when you see the sales page praising RSI for this new Mark II following the tradition of accessibility, just remember that Tarsus should really be included in that story. But none of that really matters. That's lore and sales tactics in a brochure or an ad. What really matters is what the hell is the Zeus and is it worth your money? Well, the Mark II is actually 3 different...
Stranger, we were just talking about this the other day. I know it's not relative to the video that we're watching now, but you have to have bad guys in a game, otherwise it's no fun. When I was in, and I use the same example, when I was in creative writing in school, you have to have your story, and your hero is only as good as your bad guy. And I think that's something very important we all need to learn from Star Citizen. There has to be bad guys, or the gameplay just isn't fun. What's reward without the risk, you know? So I think we need bad guys. I think we need bad guys in the game. Bad guys, because we're not really bad guys. We like to pretend to be bad guys. Blackjack.
Different variants of the same ship, with the ES or the Essential version.
I mean, I guess it's how you view yourself. I mean, technically Chaos Squad, or Captain Dirty, if you wanted to, and this goes for all the pirates, you could just say you're the good guys and you're liberating their cargo.
Version claiming a robust radar package and enhanced weaponry and shielding, which is for sale at $150 normal price, or war bond at $135, which means all new money being spent.
Right, Blackjack.
The MR, or the Marquee, or the Mark, depending on how you would like to say it, is also what I like to call...
It's only illegal if you get caught.
Which I now have to feel like I have to call it the Mark. Being more of a bounty hunting or a security version of the ship, coming with an EMP and quantum dampener, priced at $190 credits or $170 war bond, with the final version being the CL or the Clipper, which is the commerce or cargo focused hauler, priced at the same point as the ES. Now, while the versions are all different in their purpose and their intended role, there's a lot of similarities in the ships. The size of the ships is 45 meters long, 34 meters wide, and 8 meters tall, which makes it long, narrow, kind of delta-shaped. Really more...
Yeah, stranger, you're just the middleman in a cargo transfer. That's all. That's all. Yes, we are the good guys to all the other pirates we need to pay. They have...
More reminiscent.
I'm the leader of GrieferNet.
He is the leader of GrieferNet.
Of the RSI Polaris than the original Zeus to my eye, but it does share the same sweeping upward wings of the original Zeus. All three variants.
I don't know how Carl does it. He runs GrieferNet, he runs Med Runners, and he has the time to make low-flying videos. I mean, damn.
Immediately behind the cockpit area,
he's talented,
you have an airlock on the
multifaceted
the ship, and in that area you have a storage suit for lockers if you need to go EVA. Now, it isn't clear at this point if there's a weapons rack in this area or not, but regardless, just after that area, there appears to be a ladder or a lift to be able to get yourself on and off this ship, and what looks to maybe be an engineering station. A little bit further back is where we start running into our first difference in the
interior. This got voted up a lot in the React section.
Where you end up having, more of that habitation.
Oops.
Yes, being essential has the most...
I find it a little
space,
dry,
if you consider living areas with extra space to be unnecessary.
That's a nice overview.
Space dedicated to the crew habitation area.
I want to see how big this thing really is, because at 128 SCU, you would think this would be taller, thicker,
the CL version
wider.
has a smaller space dedicated to the crew, as that final wall is kind of pushed further towards the front of the ship to make for a much larger cargo area behind it. While the MR, the combat version, has a hallway behind the crew area.
Carl had to do a whole video about how he was just kidding, and even then, people. I saw the comment section like a day later. Even then, people are still like not happy with the joke. It's
smaller overall, and there's a couple different.
There's no joking in Star Citizen.
Areas to help support bounty hunting, while the ES has a fairly open space in the cargo area, just to carry, I guess, cargo. It's essential. There's not a whole lot going on there. Now, I'm not actually sure what changes between the CL from the ES to allow for about 4 times the cargo carrying ability.
Blackjack, didn't you know I'm the leader of Referral?
The ship doesn't even seem to be twice what the ES starts with. So it'll be interesting to see how that evolves over time with either stats changes,
interesting, stranger,
or arbitrary limitations. The last note on the layout and design is that they all have a large ramp that drops from the rear for loading.
Where's
the
ship
could easily support transporting a ground vehicle,
should you buy part?
We just don't know yet. If we want to look at all the components,
does he have this broken up in?
The stats page is often wrong. Sometimes the brochures that get released are wrong as well, and more normal than I would like.
No, he does not have it in. Let's see where
war as well as just outright piracy may be more agile and controllable in an atmospheric environment. I think the big wild card when I look at these is going to be the vehicle carrying ability on the CL. We know the Max is one of the better vehicle haulers in the game and can bring everything from Ursas and below and multiple of them. And depending on the ceiling height, which the Max is a taller ship than the Zeus, you may have less flexibility in hauling vehicles around. We won't know that for a while, but depending on what vehicles you bring along, usually the Max may end up being a better bet for you. So with all of that information out of
here we go. Now we go.
Comparisons of what I think are likely challengers. Should you buy a Zeus Mark II? I actually like the pricing on these ships for the most part, and I think they offer good capabilities in return. So that return on your investment is pretty strong.
Guilty by association, Adam Warlock.
If cargo is your game and you prefer running over fighting, then I think the CL is a really easy yes. It offers a lot of ship for the money, especially if you're less.
Okay, so here's a thing. I know this video was a little dry. I like the Zeus. I think it's a great addition to the game. But we won't know that until it actually comes out and it is in the game. But on paper and the way it looks like it's going to be a good addition to the game. All 3 variants are going to have their roles, their purposes. But one of the things that I want people to keep in mind, just getting away is going to be a lot more difficult in Star Citizen once Master Modes becomes a thing. And another issue is that this is a 3 to 5 man ship. So while it's got the same footprint as a Cuddy Black, I do believe that this is going to be quite a bit harder to maintain once engineering actually comes out. We won't know that until it actually, engineering gameplay actually comes out. But we will, who knows? The schematics and the diagrams that they showed off at CitizenCon does lead me to believe that it's going to be a little bit complicated to do some of the engineering gameplay. It's not going to be a quick thing that you can just jump back, like you can just leave your seat and go back there and take care of it. You're going to need another crew member. So, but as I said, we'll see. I kind of like the idea of engineering because I don't think people should solo Carracks and things like that, 890s, and not have to worry about anything at all. I don't know. Let's let him wrap up and see if you should buy one.
Concerned about fitting vehicles on board. From a combat perspective, if bounty hunting is the focus, I still prefer the blue, but the MR is a solid performer that offers the ability to do a lot of aspects. If you just want to use it for fighting and not capturing, I think there's far better options than the MR. Finally, the ES with the 4th shield, which, if it stays, is a tremendous benefit from a smaller explorer category. Honestly, I think the ES offers a lot of function at a competitive price and probably outperforms the DUR, which I would have previously considered to be best in class. So, yeah, I do. I think there's a place for each variant as long as you know what you're looking for and how you want to do it and what these ships do well, and the pricing is, competitive enough. So another final note before we wrap this up was that we've been talking about 3 variants being the ES, MR, and CL. There is a possibility of a 4th variant coming out. It's not just speculation. But some of the examples shown during CitizenCon had a branded ST Zeus that could have been art, that could be a hint.
I don't think he's for.
Started out as having.
If he is,
long story short, it doesn't really mean anything for sure, and it's not available now, so it doesn't really matter at this point. It's just worth calling out. So with that out of the way, that's it for now. If you have questions, please get them into the comments. Share impressions of your own.
Yeah, I think I don't know if you got the 190. I think it's between 150 and 190 for different price points for each 3 variants. I think the ship could be very well worth it. I do like the fact that the loaner right now for the MR is the A1, and since I took care of that last night, I'm going to be flying that around at some point today. It is Halloween, so I got to take my kids trick or treating. Yeah, I agree, Blackjack. The Zeus MR looks like fun. Happy to find something that replaced the blue for a while. Yeah, it's probably never going to replace the blue fully, but it should be fun. All right, guys, we're going to do one last video, and then I got to get on with my day. I got to get, all the stuff ready for trick-or-treating and all that other fun stuff. We're going to have a good time tonight. I really, really am. The MR should have the Mantis or Blue Loaner, not an A1. I agree. The CL should have an MSR Freelancer for a loaner. Yep. I agree.
Modularity is like a...
So, Space Tomato, we all love him. The sweetheart of Star Citizen, Space Tomato. Modularity, is it coming? Let's see what he's got to say.
Modularity is like a really big deal in Star Citizen. It's something that we have been waiting for about as long as the game has existed. This is something that they've talked about many times, and they've used it kind of as a sales tactic at times, so it rubs people the wrong way.
Do you guys think that we're going to get modularity, or do you think they're going to just continue to sell variants?
Modularity, despite modularity still not coming out with the ships they've talked about. And if I can find it here, we can see the last time they sort of mentioned it with the Retaliator.
I finished the laundry.
Okay,
You're
here
right.
we go.
Jimmy is a sweetheart.
This is at least where they mention it. Let's listen to this.
All right, and then I'm going to assume it's the same answer for like the underside pods.
Yeah, still planned. They are.
I think
those ones are actually technically blocked,
but
that's the same tech blocker as we have with the Retaliator modules. So when we have that, Retaliator modules will probably be the first thing that come online using it, and then we can go back through the catalogue of ships that have that same sort of modular room functionality and implement that.
Okay, so
I'm still hanging on to what they said.
That's kind of one of
I'm still hanging on to what they said in Invictus.
They have with one thing and how that can be affecting something else, or once they figure one thing out, it can help them get another thing done. Yeah, okay. So here's another part where they were kind of talking about this. This is 2020 remember. So they've been kind of working towards this for a little while and just trying to figure out how to make it all happen. This is also the last time we got a full update on the Retaliator.
Then the Gladiator Saber has all the same criteria of work, so looking at the cockpit, looking at the components, adding all the things, checking everything's symmetric. But because it's got an interior, then
John Cruz's desk looks
additional
worse than
tasks
mine.
added. So the same work we do for the cockpit of the pilot has to be done for the turrets. The components that you can physically take out of the ship, can you physically take them out of the ship? Do the doors need to be wider, etc.? Now you've made the doors wider, do they still fit in the ship when they open? And we also took the time to look at the central room and thought, can we improve on this? We decided to remove the top and bottom docking collars and go for a side.
Now, we don't have this Retaliator in game, right? Like they've shown us this rework, but I don't think it's in game yet.
Interesting, Adam.
Airlock, which also helps for docking because that's just a natural walking on transition.
My desk is not too far behind.
And then because we'd lost a lift on that side, we then realised we had to make the lift on the other side slightly larger to accommodate essentially 2 lifts worth of people. So then you've now just got 1 lift on that side of the ship to get in and a docking collar on the other side to get in. Thing that the Retaliator has is the customizable room modules.
Jim, there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
Cargo module front and back.
Sure.
Dropship module at the front.
See, so art-wise, these modules are, at least were, pretty close to complete 2 years ago. Functionality-wise, they've got a cargo compartment, a compartment to sit in, and compartments for cargo.
Yeah.
None of these are new gameplay features.
The cat needs some loves. It's cargo vader doors or whatever you call them. Those need to actually work. Imagine if those actually worked and you could load up your what do you call it? Your vehicles that way. The cargo vader doors working. It needs its modularity like it was promised. The cat needs so much love. And we were talking about this last night on Pagan's stream on Twitch. We were talking about how the cat needs higher accelerations, and yeah, it needs higher acceleration for the engines that it has on it, and the fact that it's carrying less of a load than the Carrack and the Hercules. It needs higher acceleration. I'm not asking for like a lot, but it does need higher acceleration. And the Carrack does need love. I see you guys talking about that in chat. The side doors are supposed to be opening so you can load cargo in and out. Right now you have to run the gauntlet to try to get cargo, and more than likely you're going to explode it. Like you're going to explode it. So yeah, but I think like the cat is perfect the way it flies. I've flown one once. I think it flies fine for its size and its design. I think it needs higher acceleration, not a lot, just a little bit more. Like it needs a few percentage points more acceleration. That's all I got to say. And then it's cargo vader doors and its modules that would make that ship amazing. It would put that again as one of the more top of the line cargo ships. But we don't get that right now.
Features, so they don't need to develop new technology for them. Really, it seems like the only thing these are dependent on are actual modularity functionality working.
So when
modularity
comes on
if
as
the
a
side doors
item,
open,
they are
that would be
good
perfect.
to go.
Yeah. So like you just said, when modularity comes online, there will be a swappable item. So they are ready. They're just waiting for that feature. So why wouldn't we get the Retaliator? Or why would they introduce the Retaliator now?
Yeah.
If modularity wasn't ready when they've been working on it for so long. We're at with the first gold standard ships. Obviously going to go through all the ships, but we are going to focus on the ones that feature heavily in Squadron 42 first. And then...
Like, I could see them doing the gold standard of the Retaliator itself. It's just, it would be very, very strange to put the Retaliator on this ship with a bunch of concepts that are hyped. Because you know, this list, there's no way this list is all the ships we're getting next year.
You know, there's another thing that he's not, and I don't think he's going to bring it up. Oh, it's in there. It's in there.
This is just the ships they want to hype us about.
I'm going to shut my mouth.
Why would they want to hype us about a Retaliator rework? We're also getting a Freelancer rework. We're also probably getting a couple other gold standard ships because Squadron 42 called.
You know, Grumpy showed me the commercial for the original Freelancer. For the original Freelancer. Did you know that the side guns that are pilot controlled, at one point they showed them in the trailer like going out like this and then doing a like 360-degree rotation all the way around? I know that's not possible, and it's probably never going to be possible, but it looked really cool in the Freelancer trailer, the Freelancer vehicle trailer when they introduced it in 2016s or whatever, 2017, but whatever. It looked cool. The trailer looked cool.
Calls for them. So I just don't really see why we would have the Retaliator on here unless
Blackjack.
They were trying to hint at more.
Sucks
but at the
for
same time,
trying
you know,
to
I'm not going
offload.
to, let's not run away with the idea that modularity is for sure coming. That's just
modularity
a possibility, I think.
Soon?
Yeah, they usually answer some good stuff in
TM?
Invictus. Let's see. Progress on modularity. Cool. Perfect.
Says, has there been any progress on modularity since it was last talked about?
Yes. Good news at last.
Good news. Well, we'll be the
Good
judge
news.
of that. We'll be the judge of that.
So,
you ready, chat?
I can't do Professor Farnsworth's voice, but good news, everybody. We didn't die on re-entry.
It's on the chat, guys. Come on. So, with the development of the whole sea, we've pretty much figured out the last hurdle. And in fact, Chris is responsible for the test that I got him to do for it, where we can have object containers, which is the interior collection of assets.
Yeah, Rakumo, we were
loaded
just
as an
discussing
item,
that.
loaded onto the
We
ship,
were
because that's how
definitely
the
just
rear of the whole
discussing
sea
that.
is attached to the ship and moves.
Rakumo, everybody
with
give
it.
Rakumo
What
07. He's from.
had stopped us
I've met him in Grumpy's
technically,
chat. Good
Going
guy.
any further with this was items inside those object containers couldn't talk to the vehicle it was connected to. Right.
You know
So
what?
the example
Everybody
of the
give everybody.
Retaliator,
Everybody give
the
everybody
torpedo
an 07.
droppy
You guys are awesome.
They're actually part of the exterior of the ship currently because that's the only way they can work. So if we allowed you to swap the modules, no matter what module you had, there'd be a pair of torpedo arms dangling through the middle of it. Chris did a test where he attached a load of missile racks and torpedoes to the inside of the back of the hull sea, which is not going to ship with it.
Wait, you're saying we're not having a torpedo hull sea?
Yeah.
There is a shelf that says "Do not submit."
You guys are great.
And the pilot had full control of that, and they could fire them. So
a whole sea with
after the whole sea
Retaliator
found any more quirks with that
torpedoes would be
setup,
awesome.
We're in a position where, to my
Thanks,
knowledge,
Blackjack.
touch wood, technically there's nothing stopping us doing modularity now. That was the last.
Nothing
big
technically
hurdle.
stopping us.
There's nothing technically stopping us from doing it, but there's
Okay, Space Tomato is going to be the sweetheart and the positive and the optimistic guy, but there's nothing technically stopping. This is what I'm going to say. There's nothing technically stopping us from modularity except the almighty dollar. That's is what's now technically stopping them.
So priorities and
building
a team.
Yeah.
Nothing technically stopping us.
So we literally have John Cruz saying, why would we get the Retaliator without modularity?
Works,
guys.
Bill. I played with
Honestly, at
Pagan
this point, I
late
think it's a little.
last
It would be
night,
very,
and
very
we tried
weird
some things.
for them
It
to come on camera
sorta
and say, "Hey,
works.
all these problems I've been talking about for years for modularity, they don't exist anymore. We're good. There's nothing holding us back from modularity." And then they would come out 5 months later and tease the ship that they've always said is coming with modularity, and not have it include modularity. Especially when, once again, all the other ships on this list don't exist yet, right? None of these ships exist except for this one. Somebody make it make sense. I'm not, I really wouldn't be pursuing this.
Wow, Tomato's a little frustrated. Tomato's a little frustrated.
As just a hype thing. I would just like this to make sense to the, like, somebody play the devil's advocate so I don't run away with this idea. It really feels like they're pointing towards it being a thing really soon. They were talking about the Galaxy too. They talked about bringing that in game. They definitely need it.
So I don't know all the modular specific ships. I know the Cuddies were originally supposed to be modular. The Carrack is supposed to be modular. The Retaliator is supposed to be modular. The Caterpillar is modular. The Galaxy is modular. Those I know of for sure are supposed to be modularity. I don't see them actually fulfilling their modular promise until they've made more money, which really sucks. And that's a marketing thing. That's a marketing thing. That's not, I don't think the devs sit here. Oh yeah, the first Vanguards. You're right. I don't think the devs sit here and they're like, how do we squeeze more money out of them? That's another team in another room and possibly in another building on another continent going, all right, next marketing meeting, how do we squeeze these fuckers for more money? That's their fault. I don't think the devs have anything to do with that, and I think the devs want to get this stuff out to us. I think it's marketing, business leaders, and possibly maybe a couple of members of the Roberts family board that don't want this to come out. But I really, really hope that they make good on everything they say and do the modularity. I really, really hope that they make good on this. People, like a lot of people, so they sold 10,000 galaxies in 2 days at IAE last year. And if you do the math on how much money they reported from making off of the Galaxy, there was still, I think it was like another $2 or $3 million worth of modules that were purchased at the same time as the ships were purchased. So let's go, CIG. Let's get on the ball. Let's get it going. I want modular ships. I really do. And I think the backers that have been here 10 years plus, or 5 years plus, that bought into these modular ships would really appreciate the ships that they bought. They have either sitting in a hangar or have a loaner for, would get their modular ships either out to them or the modules out to them, and not have to rebuy them because, oh, oops, or something like that. Let's go. Let's get the module ships out already.
Working for the Galaxy as well, but that's coming after the Polaris, so probably not for a couple of years. And they've had the gold standard ready for this ship, and now they've had modularity ready for this ship, and now they're putting it on this list. I think that kind of points to it. It's not confirmed, but, you know, we can speculate. We'll add it to the video for next year and probably be wrong about it. Either way, modularity.
Thanks, Space Tomato. We love you, man. I love you, man. I love his stuff. I don't get to watch him as much as I would like. Just time constraints. But I really enjoy Space Tomato. His interviews are top notch. He's awesome. He's awesome. So yeah, that about covers it for Hot Take Tuna Tuesday today. We kind of did like a voting thing. I thought it was fun that that the Discord community got together and voted on some of the videos. Yeah, it wasn't that big of a high vote thing, but I had fun with it, and there were some good conversations in chat about it. I really enjoyed it. We're going to do another one of these, and I think okay, Jim gave away a lot of memberships. I think the second week of November, if those memberships are still standing, because I don't know how long they last, but if those memberships are still standing, the second week of November, I am going to do a members only stream. Now, if those members go away, I'm going to add the caveat of if we can get 10 to 15 members, I will do a full membership stream. So either way, it's going to happen. Whether those the giveaway members are here or new members join, we're going to do a members only stream. It's not going to be anything crazy long or super different than what I do now, but you know that sort of thing. Figured I'd throw that out there, since memberships are available. Outside of that, guys, do have a happy Halloween if you celebrate. If you don't, stay safe. Have a great day. Don't give kids rotten eggs, please. You guys have a great day. Stranger, Adam, Brian, Blackjack, JT, Mason, Carl, everybody that stopped by. You guys all have a great day. Love you all. Thanks for stopping by. And, thanks for all the fish. And I'll see you next time. You guys are awesome. Later.